Live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brown Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me, live in the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I'm not sure where to start. First of all, we still have the Iran, as I say, or the Iran, or the Persia, whatever you want to call it, conflict, war, brouhaha, kerfuffle going on, and that's affecting gas prices a lot and a lot more things. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we have the No Kings protests. This is No Kings 3.0. It is basically an anti-Trump movement. Orange man bad. You might as well say that. People are asking, hey, what is a No Kings protest, ABL? Orange man bad is all you got to know. Anything that Trump does that people don't agree with, you go out there to protest against that. So we'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, TSA has gotten their money, or they will get their money, starting on March 30th. Hopefully they all get their monies and a little something extra if they stuck it out and stayed without getting paid for 42 days. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the Transformers have been banned from competing against biological, actual, real women in the Olympics. So if you're born a boy, a man, a male, an XY, you cannot compete against biological women. Also, Ghana wants reparations for slavery. We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And again, thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got quite a bit going on here. Of course, we got the Iran war still happening. The biggest thing with the Iran war right now, from my perspective, is the gas. I mean, the gas is going through the roof. What are you guys paying for gas where you live? I think I just paid $3.40 for regular. Now, where I live, normally I'm paying $2.40 for regular. So you're talking about like $1. And, that's, once you get to be about $4 or $5 a gallon, it's like, okay, now what are we going to do? Like, what's happening? At that point, I don't want to go into the gas station to get a bag of chips or nothing like that, because somebody might try to be funny and, take my pump out and get a little bit something for themselves, because gas is very high. But how much is gas where you are? Like I say, East Tennessee, Chattanooga, Tennessee, for me, I believe I paid $3.40 for regular. I might be a little high. Might have been $3.20, but I'm pretty sure it was $3.40. Okay. Now, luckily, I'm not necessarily too afraid of my gas guzzlers guzzling too much. I knew going into it that you got to pay, but it's not that bad. I get like 22 on my Mustang and like 18-ish, 17.5 on my F-150, so it's not that bad. If I still had my Tundra, and shout out to the Tundra, that was a great truck. Hey, if you got my Tundra, congrats, man, enjoy it. It's a great car. But 13 miles a gallon, yikes. 13 miles a gallon highway, yikes. I mean, it was a great truck, but good grief. 17.5, 18, that's much better than 13 or 12 it would get sometimes. And if you're driving a Dodge Challenger or something like that, God bless you. Or even worse, if you got an actual work truck, like a big boy, a 350, or you got an 18-wheeler, you got a big rig. Hey, man, you paying out the nose for the gasoline. And, of course, when you're paying more for gas, it's going to cause inflation, or it'll just cause things to, I guess you could call it inflation, temporary at least, until we get the Strait of Hormuz back opened. And it's not even necessarily about the Iranians' oil. It's about the Strait. They're blocking everybody else's oil. They're blocking Iraq, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia. They're blocking all of that from coming through that same strait, because that's where everything comes through. The Gulf of Oman, all of that. What's that right there? The hold on. Make sure I'm saying the right thing. Not the Gulf of Oman. Arabian Gulf, okay, the Persian Gulf. Yeah, the Gulf of Oman's on the other side. Or it's right once you get out. So those countries are on the Persian Gulf, and once you get past the Strait of Hormuz, you have the Gulf of Oman. You got to get to the Gulf of Oman to get out into the open water, and probably loop around and go through Suez Canal, go through this Mediterranean, supply Europe if you need to, and then go cross to get to USA. Or you might go to USA or go Panama Canal, either way, or just go straight over to Asia. So either way it goes, we most certainly need that straight open to get the gas prices down 100%. Okay. Hold on. Matthew says work truck does 9 miles a gallon, pulling the trailer or not. Oh my goodness. Hey man, I hope we get this thing solved really quickly, because it's not just affecting us here. It's all over the world, especially Asia. They say they get like 80 to 90% of their liquefied natural gas from Qatar. Asia gets 80 to 90% of their LNG from Qatar alone. And Qatar right now, what are they going to do? Because they got the strait blocked. And Iran's talking about, okay, we'll let you pass, but it's going to cost 2 million yuan, not even dollars, because they're trying to be funny, 2 million yuan to cross through there. So if it's an oil tanker and they got to pay 2 million yuan, is it actually worth it to get through there? I'm not quite sure what the conversion rate is. Let me see what 2 million yuan to USD. What's that? That's like $300,000, $289,358. So that's quite a bit of money. Either way, it's going to cause the price of gasoline to go up, even if the gas does get through. If they don't let it through, that's 20% of the world's oil supply every day cut off. If they do let it through and they charge like $250,000 for each vessel, that's going to be an extra cost that we got to pay. So the solution here is to get that straight opened and to get these Iranians out of the way. Because again, it's not even about just their oil, because they're going to sell their oil regardless of what. How about everybody else? How about all the other Islamic nations y'all are blocking from being able to sell oil? Everybody's on the same page except for the Iranian regime. And shout out to the Iranian people, the Persians and everybody else, the Kurds. I know about all y'all there. Hopefully you guys are able to get free from this ridiculous regime. All right. Now, did somebody say, did the U.S. decimate Iran's Navy? Well, I'm not really sure about all that. I'm not really sure if they decimated everything that they have. The mines in the water, I'm not really sure if they got all that. See, that's a whole different story. Okay, that's a much different story. Matt says, we have our own oil here in the U.S. Why is ours going up? Well, because you're affecting the global price. Like, it's not just... And then the thing about it is, there was also some things here that were blocked that need to happen, like Keystone XL pipeline from Canada. There's a lot of things here that were blocked that we need to get going again to have more energy independence. But when you are affecting the whole world, it's all the oil is going to come together to make what the price is. When you're affecting the Strait of Hormuz, it doesn't really matter if we have enough oil here. You're still going to cause the price of oil to rise. So hopefully we get that figured out. Now, the No Kings protests. The No Kings protests are hilarious, and I thought they were over with. This is the third time they've done this. This is obviously all orchestrated, coordinated. I don't think that anyone thinks that these are just spontaneous and organic protests. I believe everybody at this point knows that the No Kings protests are set up, organized, well paid, well funded, well organized. I think we all know that at this point. And the question is, why is anybody even doing it? I think a lot of the people who go to the No Kings protests are going to be your senior citizens because they're watching mainstream media still. They believe whatever they see on television. If it comes on MSNOW, formerly MSNBC, they're going to believe it. CNN, ABC, MSN, they're going to believe all of that. Now, if it comes on Fox and they're leftist, then whatever Fox says, it's the wrong thing. Fox could say, good morning, it's 5 o'clock a.m., it's going to be a sunny day. They're not going to believe it. If they turn to MSNBC and they say the exact same thing, then they'll believe it. So those people who are still in that mind of, I watch whatever they say on television, those individuals are going to be the ones who go to the No Kings protests. And what you're going to see at these No Kings protests is a bunch of nonsense. You're going to see people wearing the inflatable costumes, SpongeBob SquarePants, Minions, dinosaurs, all types of stuff. And for what? After the so-called protest is over with, then what? What's going to be the next step? What's the next course of action after the protests are done? Okay, you get outside for a while, got some fresh air, got a few steps in your Fitbit and your Apple Watch or whatever. That's fine. But now what? Once you go back to the house, what are you going to do next? Nothing. Wait for the next protest to pop out with your brand new inflatable costume you got from Amazon or Temu or Shein or wherever you got it. I can imagine the preparation for an event like this. Okay, what are we going to do? We're going to go to Temu right quick and find a dinosaur costume. And then some of the costumes and some of the crafts, like it's a lot of hobbyists that are really into crafts and they're using their skills for the absolute wrong reason. If you want to be a hobbyist and use crafts for children's birthday parties, nice, wholesome church events, something like that, a town carnival, a town parade, that's totally fine. Okay, you want to make a float of an ice cream truck and put that on a float, I'm with it. That's all good. That's a great use of your skills. But when you go out there and have Trump, a Trump inflatable with a diaper on, and you got all kind of stuff on his face, it's just like, what are we doing? What exactly are we doing? It's crazy. But hey, people have nothing better to do, so I think this was something for them to let off some steam. Orange Man bad. And you got to be at least about 75 years old to participate. That's going to be the primary age group right there, because again, they are the ones who are believing the mainstream media more than anyone else. Not all. Shout out to everybody who's in that age group who's not really, abiding by that. And you might take some heat from your friends and family for being this way. Hey, Agnes, why do you believe that Orange Man? Why do you believe anything he says? Well, you know what, Brenda, I got a mind of my own. And I can think for myself. So that's why I believe in what we got going on right now with the administration. That's why I voted for the Orange Man. That's why I voted for everybody that is conservative, because I think they got the best policy. I think they got the best ideas. A lot of the leftists at the No Kings protest say that they believe in communism. They believe in socialism. Okay. Now, why aren't you in a communist or socialist place, though? Why are you here in the USA? Why are you in the capital of capitalism? Why are you in the capital of capitalism? Why don't you go to a Venezuela, a Cuba? Why don't you go to a place like that? Matter of fact, Cuba is great right now, okay? We just had Hassan Piker and all these leftists go to Cuba and show you how great it is. There was no power on the island for most of the time, except for right where they were at that 5-star hotel that you can't really afford to go to. But hey, go to Cuba, check it out. And once you're there, tell all the people who are talking about leopard tide, please get Trump, please bring Trump. Tell all those people that they're wrong, that they've watched too much Fox News, that they've been on the internet too much Instagram and all their free time with no power. Tell them that they just are mistaken and to go your direction, to keep going down the path of communism. Now, you got to convince them that communism is good in lieu of their island not doing well ever since they embraced communism. Before communism, things were rocking and rolling. After communism, not so much. And it's the same all over the world. People want to blame the U.S. They say, oh, it's your fault for the sanctions, your fault for this, your fault for that. No, the problem is communism, because that same thing has happened all over the world. Whether the U.S. existed, whether the U.S. interfered or not, the same thing has happened all over the world. If it truly worked, speaking about communist socialism, if it truly worked, then there would be no need to try and prove it, to try and fight to see if it actually works. We know what capitalism is. That works pretty well. Now, you're going to have some that can't get with the program, and that's fine. I think they should have their own partner society. You know what I think? Here's what I think, and it might be kind of a radical idea, but hear me out. And I'm not quite sure if we can do this in America, but I have an idea. I think there should be like some shanty towns, but just like over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, not like right up against where I'm at. Okay, if I'm living in a gated community, I don't want to have the little shanty town like right there. Have it be a community, not a shanty town. That might be the wrong way to say it. Have a community where the amenities aren't as great. And those exist because when you go to a city and you see the amenities and all the accoutrements and the fanciness and the glitz and the glamour and the sheen, when you see all that in a major city and you venture outside the city an hour, it's not quite the same way. It's a little bit more toned down. That should be a thing people embrace. People should embrace the more small town, slower vibe. Okay. And what people should do is use their hands more to be able to do things. People want to have a cheap existence, an inexpensive existence while doing nothing, but have the same amenities as a big city. But that's not really a thing that makes sense. You should have a place where it's not as expensive, but you need to actually work and produce things. For example, okay, I'm reading this news article about Oakland, how they have vacancies, like 2,000 city jobs that are just not being filled. Okay, now, from my perspective, I would say those are jobs that residents should do. And if they can't do it, then it's just not going to get done. That's just that simple. Just that simple. And that should be a measure of how good your city is. Okay, are you guys who live here going to actually participate? Are you going to do anything? How about your young people? How about your young people? You know, high school, college, you need a job. Okay, let's go out there and do some road maintenance. Let's go out there and build some houses when they're young in high school. I would encourage that from a young age. You should be able to be self-sufficient rather than trying to bring in the migrants to do all the work. They do that in the USA. Minnesota is famous for that because Minnesota at this point has become Somalia. Okay, Maine, same thing. They're doing it a lot there. Windsor, Canada, right across the bridge, right across the water from Detroit, Michigan. They're doing the exact same thing there. Not only are they importing all these people from Somalia or whatever, they're also paying them, giving them money, giving them stipends. I think that there should be a greater investment into our own people here in our countries, and there should be motivation for us to go out there and work. And there shouldn't be motivation for us to stay at home and do nothing. COVID-19 was so terrible. I was like, you know what? Right, and they're talking about, okay, you got to stay home, and we're going to give you stimulus. Like, well, I don't know what it was. Like, the unemployment was crazy. All you did was incentivize people to drop out of the workforce to the point now where you have such low workforce participation. The workforce participation rates are so low, they're resorting to bringing in the migrants. But that should be what we do. And if it can't get done, then so be it. That's the fault of those who live in a particular area. And I think you'd be able to see what people are better than others in this country if we just did things that way. St. Andrew says there are already shanty towns in USA. They're in LA, Oakland, Seattle, and Portland. Well, hey, my thing is it can't be right there in downtown. Like, have those little shanty places kind of like off in the cut. And they got to just figure it out. Limited resources. I don't know. I think that the small town should come back. An actual town, not like a homeless encampment or a big, super big suburban sprawl city, a real small town. Those should come back. You got a little town center and you got little jobs you can do and you can be more self-sufficient and not so relying upon city services. Those should come back, in my humble opinion. But if you want the more fast-paced life, the Jetsons or whatever, okay, go to a bigger city. Go to a bigger city and then do that. There should be both available in the country. Okay, Windsor, Ontario. Thank you, John Larson. Right across the water from Detroit, Michigan. Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Mind the Drift says, the shanty towns in Los Angeles have luxury amenities. I bet they do. Hey, I've seen some of your tents out there on the ground in Hollywood and stuff like this. I saw a guy had a flat screen TV, Wi-Fi, the whole thing. He was having a whole party in his tent right there on the sidewalk. I'm like, lucky him. But I tell you what, if I lived in the city, I would not want to see that just on the sidewalk. That ain't really it. I'm not trying to see you having the party on the sidewalk in your tent. All right, because I don't know what you got going on. It's dangerous. It's too much going on. I like to go to places when I travel and be able to walk. Be able to just go outside and walk to where I got to go, like a New York, although I'm not really a New York fan, but I want that kind of walkability. What I don't want to see when I'm walking outside, daytime, nighttime, or whatever, is somebody smoking crack, somebody, doing a cha-cha slide in the tent right on the sidewalk. I don't want to see that. If you want to, smoke your drugs or whatever, I wish you wouldn't, but please don't do it right there on the sidewalk in the middle of the daytime or nighttime or noontime or whatever. Okay. And if you have a little party, a little dance party, something like this in your tent, okay, let's do that in a club somewhere. I don't know. That's just my humble opinion about it. But shout out to you guys. Shout out to you city slickers, you city dwellers out there. I hope you guys are enjoying your stay in the city. Big city like New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, I go briefly, and then I'm back to where I'm at right now. Okay, I'm back to a more laid back type of atmosphere. That's what I'm with it. Zealand Zen says, I'm so done traveling. Glad everything's available on the internet. Yeah, I got to get back traveling. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan, but I got to get back. And I'm glad that we have, I'm glad that we have TSA finally getting funded as of this Monday, March 30th, 2026. After 42 days of them not being paid, I think it'd be 44 days, 45 days when it's all said and done. Ridiculous. All because the Democrats wanted to hold the funding hostage because they want to take reforms to ICE. But guess what? There's no reforms to ICE and TSA is still funded. Now, the only issue is the actual legislation has not been passed because the House and the Senate are still squabbling over it. It matters not because Trump has initiated the executive order, the emergency order, because the lack of TSA funding was causing a security concern, long wait times. It was disrupting travel. It was causing issues. It was causing tensions to flare. It was becoming a security issue for real. So he said, you know what? Okay, watch this. Emergency order. Boom. And right when he did that, everybody's talking about, oh, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Okay, I bet you will do it. I bet you will do it because now if you don't do anything, then you got to just let it happen. And if you let that happen, if you let Trump's executive order happen without challenging, you lost. If you challenge it, you still lost because why would you challenge that? If the order goes out there and people are getting their checks on Monday and then the Democrats come out and say, we're going to block it. See, y'all going to get hammered in the midterms over that because are they going to do, meaning the Republicans are say, see, they getting in the way. Trump signed an executive order to have them get paid on Monday the 30th, right before the first of the month, where you got bills, rent, all kind of stuff due again. After the first time they missed it, you're gonna stop it right there. That they get creamed in the midterms. And people were saying, well, don't get too excited because the House didn't vote on it. I knew once the Senate had said yes that it was over with, because if the House rejected it, it doesn't matter because of the key component of Trump saying, boom, executive order, emergency. If Trump did not do that, and if Trump accepted the so-called deal from the Senate that he got from, I believe, John Kennedy and Ted Cruz, if he just took that deal without the emergency order, then here comes the House being funny, and then it wouldn't have happened. But since he did that with executive order, now they got to get funded. So, hey, shout out to the TSA out there. Hopefully you guys get your monies and a bonus. You deserve it because I don't blame anybody for not coming to work, calling off because you're not getting paid. I mean, I've never in my life had a job where I didn't get paid, where I thought I was going to get paid. Okay, I've done things for free and I knew it was for free. I've volunteered before. That's not a job though. That's just me giving that's like, okay, somebody say, oh, I got to move. Can you come help me? Sure. I got the truck. I'll come help you. That's not a job. That's just me assisting. That's just me volunteering. So I don't expect to get paid for that unless you're going to do it, but it's not really. But if I have a job where I sign a contract, then I should be paid. Furthermore, TSA should be privatized. TSA is privatized all over the country. Well, let me be specific. It's not TSA, but there are private companies that do the exact same thing that TSA does with the same training, and it's a federal contract. In San Francisco, they have privatized security that functions identical to TSA. There is no disruptions with them because they have a private contract with the federal government, and this money in that contract cannot be disrupted by the DHS funding being disrupted because DHS directly funds these agencies, FEMA, TSA, and Coast Guard. But that private contract does not fall under that jurisdiction. So I think that should be the way going forward. Have all of the TSAs across the country be private security firms. So therefore, they cannot be used as a political football in situations like this. Okay, you're not going to just cancel Covenant Security LLC's contract because you're mad at Trump for the whole Rachel Nicole Good kerfuffle in Minneapolis. And by the way, I've said from the beginning, and I got some heat for it a little bit, but I said what I said. Rachel Nicole Good, Alex Pretty, they got what they got. They got what they earned. They got what they deserved. If you try to hit somebody with a car, like if you hit a cop with a car, expect to go ahead and get made mincemeat. Expect to go ahead and get yourself put up under the dirt. Okay, that's going to be a quick nap for you right there. You're going to be sleeping and never wake up again. And if you try to fight cops with a gun on you, I mean, something might happen. The gun might go off. They might get threatened. It's a whole lot happening. You might get hit, fall on your head, crack your head open, and it's a wrap. And there was the craziest thing in the world to see people that were responding to the lady hitting the officer with the car, the ICE agent with the car. It's like it don't take much time at all. I played the other video where the lady had got hit with the vehicle. She hits her head on the sidewalk or on the street, and just like that, she was gone. She got hit her head, and was run over. Within 2 seconds, she was gone. So yeah, if you do that to a cop, ICE agent, Border Patrol, any kind of law enforcement, any kind of regular person, expect to go ahead and get mag dumped. Okay, expect to get mag dumped. So the moral of the story is, don't be a big bull dagger hitting cops with your car and expect to live. Okay, but shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And shout out to you guys for being the best audience. Shout out to patriotpost.us for being your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the description, or go to patriotpost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also go to my merch website, ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website, and you'll see articles for each long-form video that I produce. And in each article, we'll have sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the Democratic, Republican, politically agnostic, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it right there on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact us. There you're able to find my email address, my snail address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All my links are right there on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact us. And as I always say, if you think you're speaking to me on the internet or not, you're probably not. If you didn't email me first, and I emailed you back. And again, my email is contact@anthonyblogan.com. It'll be right there on the contact page of the website. If I didn't email you there and you're getting a message from me on a DM or a comment or something crazy about some money, invest this, send this, gift card that, call me on some 1,000-digit WhatsApp number, please don't do it, because you already know it's a scam. And scamming is at an all-time high. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. It's super high right now because people are scrambling. The energy is high. People got bills. You know, TSA, they're not getting paid. The scamming is crazy. It's crazy. You go outside your house, it's going to be a scam right at your front door. So please, please, please don't do it. You already know what it's going to be. It's going to be, it might be a team of 15 guys in India pretending to be one person. And I saw one video. I gotta find that video. I gotta find it. It was an Indian dude on a Zoom call, and he had a filter on to be a white man. He had an accent down and everything. It was crazy. It was totally crazy. So just know, if there's a filter or something like that on, automatically you're gonna hear the voice, the accent. It ain't gonna be right. The Indian dude, hello, come again. That's not how I sound. Okay. And shout out to my Indians out there. I love y'all. You guys are great. The naan bread, the curry, all of that. Wow, fantastic. Great people. Bollywood, love it. all the dances, I'm with it. But the scamming is crazy. So don't fall for that. I don't care if it's a Zoom call, phone call, bird call, whatever. Same thing, Ukraine. They got the same kind of technology. Boris and Natasha are going to get all your monies. And also, in Nigeria, it'd be real easy. Then they're going to need no filter. They can just find an ABL clone over there. I know I got an ABL clone over there because I've seen some of y'all. All you got to do is put on a little beard, put a little gray in the beard, and say, this guy right here, he's ABL. He's going to be our leader in the future. He's going to be the best of us. Do not believe that he is really an American. He is really a Nigerian man. He is pretending to you. But the guy I have right here on the phone, talking to you, he is the real deal. That's what they're going to say. But y'all can't believe it, okay? Don't believe it. I don't want to get no phone calls. ABL, I thought I was talking to you on the phone, but it wasn't you. I thought it was. They had the. That's not me. That is Adewale. That is I don't know, but it ain't ABL. Adewale Balogun Latana. It's not me. It is not me. It is that guy pretending to be me to get the monies. Anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Let's get straight to the No Kings. The most organic protest I've ever seen in my life. The most naturally occurring protest in the state of, in the entirety of the universe, right here. Okay, no sound on this, but you see what it says. This is going to be Ocean Beach, I believe. What's that? Ocean Beach? Yeah, Ocean Beach, San Francisco. Trump must go now. No ICE, no wars, no lies, no kings. And you see they got the upside down American flag. Very disrespectful. So you got a human display. Trump must go now. And then just a border. And then, you know, some words written right there on the sand with the upside down flag. Very organic, right? It just happened to show up. Oh yeah, let's just do it. Let's just say Trump must go now. And they're going to just have that happen on the beach. Okay. Sure. Okay. Now, Denver, Colorado, a little bit different. Not so much, you know, peaceful and pretty on the beach. You got kind of like a little conflict zone happening right here. Okay, we got a little bit of cussing going on. Is it really that serious, Denver, Colorado? Is it that serious? Like, for real? What is the problem? I don't really understand. Okay. Hey, so right here, I got a few new books behind me. Did you notice? 1984. I'm a big Orwell guy. I got two copies of Animal Farm. I got one right there and one right there. That's Animal Farm. Hold on. Animal Farm, 1984. Art of War, To Kill a Mockingbird. And I got more books on the way. But those are the ones. I got the Iliad and the Odyssey also coming to put back there. So if you're looking for any suggested reads for young people, especially, those are good books right there. People always ask me, you know, for the young people, especially if you're in high school, middle school, even, these are really good to read. No, hey, come Christmas time, come Halloween, I'm going to hand out 1984 books. As a matter of fact, I'm going to hand out the box set, 1984 and Animal Farm, to the kids. Now, I wonder, can I do that in my neighborhood without them getting mad and calling the police or something? Like, hey, like, can I do that without them getting mad? I'm at the next HOA meeting, I'm going to come with the books and be like, hey, this is what I want to do. Can we do this or what? All right. So shout out to Denver. Now, Los Angeles expected some violence, so they got prepared ahead of time with these gates under underpasses.
Now, the work is happening right now from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. This is along the 101 freeway in downtown LA. You can see the large metal gates that are being installed. This is on the underpasses there over Los Angeles main streets. This is the third set of gates that we have seen being installed. Caltrans says This is in partnership with CHP as a result of the protests that we have seen so recently going on the freeways. I want to show you more video here of the other gates that we have seen being used. This is at the Los Angeles Street off-ramp, and you can see them right there, kind of tucked away just on the side of the concrete there. CHP and Caltrans tells me that this will be a coordinated effort between the two agencies to be able to use these gates if a protest warrants it. We'll show you video because protesters in the last several years, all the way back to the George Floyd protests in 2020, have really taken to the freeways. And you see previously, CHP had to use officers to block it and then a number of cars down there as well. We've covered many protests that end up on the freeway. We've seen injuries happen because of that. You'll remember in 2020 when a CHP car had somebody actually hang on top of it as they tried to get away from the crowd that was in there. That was all during the George Floyd protest. The protests have caused mass disruption on local freeways. CHP and Caltrans are hoping that this is going to be a new way to prevent those things from happening with these new gates that have been installed. It's unclear, and I have asked Caltrans how many gates they're going to be installing and where throughout the downtown LA corridor. But the next time we have big protests in downtown, don't be surprised if you see these gates being closed.
All right, there we go. Shout out to Bitman for the news. I'm with it. But this right here, of course, is Los Angeles. These are previous so-called protests. Looks like riots to me. But they were getting ahead of the game by putting these gates right there so they can close off these roads if needed. So, drastic times calls for drastic measures. 8-Bit only says ABL, the 101 and 405 are stupid busy. All of them should have been arrested. That's crazy. That's totally a mess. Okay, now, this is how they get prepared. This is how the liberals get prepared to go to a No Kings protest. It could be violent, it could be crazy or whatever. They all do the same thing to prepare. Check it out. Okie dokie. You know what? These gracious white liberals will be the very first ones to let the N-word skip across their tongue when they're mad at you. You want to be a black ICE agent? How dare you, N-word race traitor? Oh yeah, we got the videos. Don't even worry about it. We got the videos. Okay, we got the videos. They talk about all this kumbaya. I smell like patchouli. I don't shave my armpits. Whatever. They get you all that earthy stuff. But then when you go against the grain and do things that they don't like, all of a sudden, N-word. Because, I got a question. Where is the diversity to the champion here? Where is the diversity? What's the diversity in the outfits? Some tie-dye. That's the diversity right there. Oh, okay. Don't worry about it. But shout out to them. Shout out to them getting ready to go out there having a good old day of protesting. All righty. Now, this person, I don't know if this is a parody or what. If it is a parody, it's right on point. Because my question is, okay, after you protest, and we'll get to the protest in a minute, but after you protest, what are you going to actually do? What's the next course of action here? Let's check it out.
So what did you guys decide? Armed uprising, general strike? What did everybody decide we're going to do? I'm ready. Let's go. I think we as Americans have a responsibility to the world to topple the empire from within. What history books have you all read? What have you learned about U.S. imperialism to make you realize that flying these shits around at your parades is actually offensive to about 95% of the world? So what did you guys decide?
Okay, so there's a lot going on there. So first of all, to answer your first question, parody, no parody. To answer your first question, you guys aren't going to do anything. You guys are going to do nothing. This is No Kings 3.0. You guys go out there and do the exact same thing every time, and there's never anything that you actually do that's constructive beyond that, from what I'm able to see. And most of the world wants to come to the USA. Not all. You may have a perfectly beautiful hamlet in Switzerland somewhere, and you don't want to come here. Okay, fantastic. But most of the world would like to come to America, at least for a while. Maybe not permanently, but at least for a while, to get their money up, to get themselves together, to become educated for a better life. Do you guys know that in 1 year, a few years back, probably about 5 years ago, they caught 400,000 people at the border that they caught, not just the gotaways, and they caught 400,000 humans at the border, and they were from 150 different countries. 150 countries. And there's only about 193 countries in the world. It ain't that many countries in the world to be able to leave and come here. Basically, the entire world wants to come here. It doesn't matter if they're black, white, Asian. It doesn't matter. Everyone wants to be here. So when you're talking about armed insurrection, takeover of what? Why? And you say the American flag, is offensive. Why is the American flag offensive when everybody wants to come here? I mean, make it make sense. Only in America can you say that we're under a totalitarian regime and then go out there and say that the flag sucks and you hate the president and Orange Man bad and all this and that. Only in America can you do that. But anyway, let's keep on actually rocking here. All right. Now, this is a protest, a No Kings protest, where they're calling for the release of Luigi Mangione. And we all know what he did. He went and shot the healthcare executive in cold blood in New York City. And this sign right here says toxic, racist, unethical, misogynistic, pathological. That's the TRUMP. Okay. Fantastic. I wonder how many brain cells that took for you to actually come up with and how many you have remaining after that. You probably did negative on your brain cells. But anyway. Okay. And then the other part of the sign says, I can't see what is completely unjust and an insult to the intelligence of American people. Okay, I'm not sure what that is. Maybe about the insurance or whatever. And right-wing troll. Okay, so someone's a right-wing troll and you got a sign pointing to them, but you guys are not left-wing trolls out there protesting for the murderer, Luigi Mangione. Okay, all right. It's fun. It's okay, though. But you know what? I love freedom of speech because you get to see both sides. Not just our side on the right, but their side on the left. And you get to see the extremes of both, the extreme left and the extreme right. And rational people, rational thinking people will come to a conclusion on what makes the most sense to them when they get to see all of it. So that's why I tell y'all, hey, don't even believe me. Don't take my word for it. Do your own independent research and you'll find what makes sense. Listen to them, listen to me, listen to everybody and figure out what makes the most sense at the end of the day. Now, I'm gonna tell you what doesn't make sense. These Handmaid's Tales costumes. Now, I don't even watch the show. I've not seen the Handmaid's. I don't know nothing about it really. I know a little bit, but not that much. Is it a TV show where they got the Handmaid's Tale? Is it a movie? I know it's a book, but is it a movie or a TV show they're getting this from? Anyway, so they have a No Kings protest in Nashville, as they do all over the country. But the one in Nashville had some of the Handmaid's Tale protester cosplayers. And one of the cosplayers looks a little bit different than the others. Okay. Now, spoiler alert. There we go. But let's watch. Now, Bill. Now, I think, and before I get into Bill here, I think what's happening is that they're holding up names who are in the Epstein files. Okay, that's what this whole thing is. The Bruce Moskowitz. That's probably not a name tag. That's somebody from the Epstein files. I have no idea who that man is. Maybe y'all do, but I don't. Either way it goes, Jim, Bill, Ted, Phil, Mike, whatever your name is, bro, what are you doing? You're wearing a Handmaid's Tale costume. This is a thing that women do. Why are you doing it? And you don't appear to even be LGBT. You're like a regular Joe. Hey, you got to work in the morning. You better go work at Jiffy Lube at 7 a.m. And you out here doing this. Is your wife right next to you? Did you do something and she made you go out there and do that? I wish somebody with me. I wish anybody would try to say, I got to go out there with a Handmaid's Tale outfit on and a sign. Look. You better go ahead and just try to fight Hey, if you don't know how to fight, I'm not going to be made to do anything. If you don't got no pistol, or if you're not Mike Tyson, I'm not doing anything like that. But hey, you did. And you are at a protest. You're holding a sign. You want to be seen. I'm not exposing you. So it is what it is. Hey, to my guys out there, would you ever do a thing like that? Maybe if it was a bet you lost, would you do something like that? And me, you know what? I'd renege on the bet. It's like, you know what? I ain't lose that bet. I ain't doing that. Matter of fact, I'm lying. I wouldn't even make the bet to begin with. I'll bet you some money before I bet to do something like that. Man, humiliation is the word of the day. But anyway, here's more of that Handmaid's Tale protest out there in Cashville, Nashville, Tennessee. Nash Vegas, Tennessee.
Yeah, I hold it so I can take a picture. Let me hold it.
Fabulous, ladies. Fabulous.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, not just ladies. I'm offended, but I digress.
Fabulous, fabulous.
Have someone else take home. I would be happy to take one. It's okay. I mean, I'm
Oh, yeah, you can take
I
one.
didn't bring one. I had a digestive upset this week, so I'll be happy to take that one.
Now, my question is, are they a traveling troupe? Are they a traveling group? Do they just go all over the USA with the Handmaid's Tale cosplay stuff on? I'm just trying to figure out what's really happening. Because I don't know. Y'all let me know what's going on. Have you seen these people in your neck of the woods with the Handmaid's Tale cosplay on? What they should do is just say this is a convention. It's like an anime convention. It's like a Comic-Con for leftists. Just say that, and then have it be a contest. Who has the best costume? Who has the best Handmaid's Tale costume? Who has the best Donald Trump floaty? Who has the best Steve Bannon effigy? Like, let it be a contest like that, because that's pretty much what it is. Informally, it's like that. And speaking of a costume contest, here we go again. And it's just pretty creative. So I'm seeing some. Okay, so let's just explain this outfit before we get into it, before you play it. We got a young lady with the terrorist scarf on. That's a nice little touch. A white fluffy dress, like a chicken nose mask on with the black frame glasses. Okay, great touch. And she has what appears to be a baby carriage with a nest. But it's like a wreath. Like, she put 2 wreaths as a nest. And then you have these eggs, oversized eggs. I think I see something that says War, Empire. I don't know what the other one says. And then her sign says, chickens coming home to roost. Let's watch. Affleck, that's hilarious. That is funny. Affleck. And RIP to the headphone users. Let me start from the top. Was that a cluck I just heard? What was that? Am I tripping? I'll let it play. Oh, she really did. Oh my God. She actually did the cluck. She really did the cluck. That's crazy. Okay. Now the sign says, okay, you see what it says right there. She can come home to roost. And it says War, Empire, Racism. Those are America's chickens coming home to roost. Oh my Lord. Hey, if there was a contest, she'd be up there, because I'm seeing a lot of low effort. I'm seeing regular running clothes and stuff like that. I'm not seeing a bunch of high effort. That right there is high effort. A nice, very well made sign, very professional. The chicken outfit on with the quacking, the clucking, all of that. Hey, there we go. There we go. Now we going to Los Angeles. Here we got some. I think that was also LA right there. Hold on, let me make sure. Let me see where that was. I think the other one was also in LA, but I just want to make sure. Give me 1 second. And that was LA. We just saw with the chicken. And a lady doing the chicken, doing the quacking. All right, now, or the chicken, the ducks quack, chickens cluck. Okay, anyway. We got some inflatables here in Los Angeles. Okay, so we get the grown man right here with the little legs and little inflatable legs on top. Okie dokie. Little flamingos, chicken, and then some of these signs says, "Are we next?" with the Nazi symbol. They love their racism. They love their racist symbols, and they try to say that it's them parodying the right, but I think it's them expressing how they really feel. Okay. Let's keep on going here. And if you like what you're hearing so far, you know what to do. All right, this is going to be also LA. All right, I got some more cringe from LA. Now, this will be a dance routine from Los Angeles.
The green disease is real, y'all. And people power is the only cure. We bring civics back. Yeah. We united, bringing civics back. Teaching in the schools, bringing civics back. Call to action. Call your reps. Vote like a boss. Call your reps. Organize your block. Call your reps. Shut it down. Call your reps. Call your reps. This is our damn town. Whoa. Democracy ain't a spectator sport, y'all. Whoa. Hashtag bringing civics back.
Okie dokie, there we go. So they broke it on down. Okay. Hey, they broke it on down. Nice little spins, nice little choreograph. Hey, I feel like this is like 2001, Britney Spears. Is what I feel like. Hey, shout out to them. You guys on the left are so funny. I promise you are. Please, I want more of this. Do these protests every month, but just stay out the way. Don't be in the road or nothing like that. Okay. Just stay out the way with your protests, but I still want to see it. All right. I still want to see it. Now, this is Atlanta, ATL. All right, and shout out to Hood Anchor Ye. He's a good dude. He does like in the field reporting in general. He's not like he's not a liberal guy or nothing like that. From what I'm able to see. Now here he is with some of the white liberals in Atlanta. And hey, if you don't know, we have some of the finest of the white liberals in Atlanta, Georgia, as far as the cringe factor. Oh my goodness. My. I've seen some things and I done seen some stuff in ATL. Okay. Hey, I told a story about how I wasn't on the Beltline. I was in the Botanical Garden recently. I told a story about how I seen this gigantic white lady and she had this really sheer shirt on with nothing up underneath. All I'm seeing is just a little bit too much inappropriate things happening under the shirt. You understand what I'm saying? She looked kind of like that lady right there. Like, imagine this lady right here was like up and walking. That's how the lady was. It was crazy. But anyway, let's watch some of this.
Atlanta, it's happening nationwide. No Kings. What does No Kings protest mean?
You know, I think it means that the Dow is over 50,000. So that's what we should be paying attention to right now, okay? But really, we're sick and tired of this administration and all the wrongs that they're doing. It makes us sick. Most American people feel the same way. We need to take to the streets and do something about it. We're out here making fun of these insane people that currently have power in the White House because you have to clown fascists. They hate it. It hurts their ego, and it gets people going.
Atlanta, it's happening.
Okie dokie. So there we have it out there in ATL. Now, there's the lady in the wheelchair has like a social media presence, and I'm telling y'all, and I know how y'all are. Y'all gonna just ignore what I say or do the exact opposite. Please don't go looking up her profile. I beg you. If you don't listen to anything I say, if you just don't listen to ABL, let today be the one day you listen. If you find her profile, you'll regret it. I promise you will. All right, and I digress. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Okay, this is going to be Austin, No Kings protest. And you already know how Austin, Texas gets down. It's going to be weird. So let's watch some of this. check out some of the anime characters and whatnot that you see.
At the time, ice sculpture, I don't know if it ended up in the park or if it has melted yet. What's going on? I see some Pikachus. Is that what I'm seeing?
On Twitter. Yes, I'm going to go to the sculpture in just a moment. But Jacob, I got to show you around. As you know, the motto for Austin is keep Austin weird, right? You're going to see a lot of weird stuff here, but look. This is the type of protest that we have here in Austin right now. I talked to Sarah with the No Kings costume. Hi, Sarah. Thank you so much for helping us out here with our backdrop. And then this is Derek. Derek is saying hello there. And we also have the Minion. All of these folks have been all around here in Austin. I got to tell you, there's about 80 different tents here, Jacob, because the whole point of No.
At the time.
All right, there we go. So we got a Pikachu army. Okay, shout out to the Pikachu. And we also have a random pig for no reason, a homemade Trump costume with Burger King. Hey, what is the beef with Burger King? Like, what is the problem? Are we protesting Burger King? What Burger King do? Hey, remember this gem of a picture? Remember this? Hold on. Let me see if I bring it up right quick. Remember this? This was, I think of this picture quite often. Where you have a No Kings protest. This might have been No Kings 2.0. Now we're in No Kings 3.0. This is a previous picture. But you see somebody being interviewed. They have a No Kings sign. It says, say no to kings, but it's in the shape of a Burger King logo. Say no to kings is like the meat, and then it is surrounded by a hamburger bun. What are we protesting? Burger King? Are we protesting hamburgers? Are we protesting red meat? I'll tell you what. You may not like Trump. You may say Orange Man bad. But what you're not going to do is take that red meat from me. You're going to pry that from my cold, dead hands. I'll tell you what, especially a good steak, a nice rare. I'm not letting it go. So if you got beef with beef, then, hey, man, El Salvador immediately, because we don't got time for that. You understand? Shout out to all my steak bros out there, all my red meat bros out there. Y'all know what it is. All my red meat guys out there. Shout out to y'all. Let's keep going here. And where we going to go? This is in Washington, D.C. So she says that Trump is taking away black women's, or she says that Trump wants to take away black women's rights. Okay, let's check it out.
Well, okay, so waking up every day as a black woman is such a political act. So that in itself is exhausting, but like the fight never stops. So protesting this, it's like, hey, I still have to do this. So I can't wait until this shit is behind us and we don't have to worry about people dying in ICE custody. We don't have to worry about losing our rights as women, as black people, as any marginalized group. So gotta represent.
Yeah. And how are those rights being taken away right now?
How are they being taken away right now?
That right there is an automatic, I don't know the answer to your question, so I'm trying to repeat it back to you to get a little time. To buy myself some time to make up a lie. That's what that is. I've done this for a very long time. I know the signs. I know what you're going to say before you say it. That right there is a red flag, but let me go to let her finish.
Literally just like, I have teachers as friends. Yeah. And they are struggling to try to educate our kids in classrooms.
Yeah.
So because of what this administration is doing, black women are pretty much being murdered in medical professions when we go to seek medical care, and that research is being defunded. We have to make sure that we are putting in the work and stopping these things.
See, the thing about it is, when you go out there to protest, you must know what you're talking about. You have to understand what you're talking about. You got to know it very well. you must know it intimately. And if you don't, you just out there talking, and you're going to get embarrassed when someone asks you to substantiate your claim, to back up your claim, to give an example. You're going to be sitting there scrambling, fishing, trying to find something. And a guy like me and a lot of us, we already see you from a mile away. When you're asked a simple question like that and you repeat it back, I already know you don't know the answer. So maybe if you don't know about something, you should just keep quiet. That's just my humble opinion. You have the right to say something. That's your right, freedom of speech. I'm not saying that. But it's embarrassing when someone asks you more about it and you have nothing to say because you don't know anything. Personally, when I don't know something, I'm not going to speak on it. Okay, people talking about, hey, can I get a video on this? Can I get a video on that? I'm like, hey, I got to look into it. I don't know a lot about it. I'm not going to go and make a video on it without having any kind of prior knowledge, without doing any kind of research. That's just not responsible, in my humble opinion. Okay, now, this is going to be Harry Sisson in New York. And a little bit about Harry Sisson, if you don't know, he's from Singapore. If you didn't know that, he's from Singapore. Now, Singapore had an authoritarian leader by the name of Lee Kuan Yew. I'm not saying he was a bad guy because he took Singapore from like a backwater into a world power like overnight. Not literally, but pretty much. But he was an authoritarian leader, much more so than Trump could ever be. So your parents went to Singapore. You born there and raised there for a long time. But you're talking about no kings because you say Trump is authoritarian when the guy who built your country, Singapore, was much more authoritarian than Trump could ever be. Make it make sense. But I digress.
All right, folks, I just made it to No Kings, New York City. As you can hear, it's very loud, and as you can see, it's very large. I've been to all 3 No Kings protests in New York City. Immediately, this one already looks like the biggest one. Let me show you. Man, I'm gonna keep posting videos from this protest today, but I don't even know where it ends. Like, it looked like it goes on for many, many, many blocks. So it is crazy. So many funny protest signs out here, and so many great people I've already met. It's going very well. It's wonderful. All right, folks.
All right, there we go. So, Harry, did you meet any other Singaporeans like you? No, I want to make sure that people understand that he's Singaporean because, well, not like an ethnic group, but that's where he's from. Just like Barack Obama. Barack Obama was born in Hawaii, but grew up in Indonesia and then came back to Hawaii when he was already like a teenager. He did not come to the lower 48 until he got to be a full-grown adult. So if the majority of your life, your young life, your formative years are spent in Indonesia or Singapore, you're not going to be the same as a regular American who was born and raised here the majority of his or her life. You see what I'm saying? So let's keep on rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. Now, they're also doing No Kings protests in London, UK. Now, what does UK stand for? United Kingdom. Okay. Why are we doing a No Kings protest in the United Kingdom where they literally have a king right now? I don't understand. Make it make sense. Is a protest against your king that you have and the kingdom that you have, or is it against President Trump?
Of unions, charities, politicians, celebrity backers, and one of the people that's going to be performing on the stage I'm joined by now is singer Billy Bragg. Look, Billy, this was formed in response at the end of last year to the Unite the Kingdom marches, wasn't it? Explain sort of the thinking.
Well, the thinking is that Unite the Kingdom
of union.
All right, there we go. So there's a UK, United Kingdom with a No Kings march, a No Kings protest. And here's Pocahontas in Boston. Okay, you know who Pocahontas is, right? Elizabeth Warren. I'm Native American. Where are you Native American? You looking like straight like you looking like you could have been the Queen of England yourself. Anyway.
It's brought a new generation of people who are running for office right now so that they can go to Washington and fight Donald Trump and the Republicans. These are people people in Minnesota and people in Illinois, people in Iowa, people in Michigan, and nearby in Maine. We're going to get Graham Plattner. It's brought.
All right, there we go. So more about Pocahontas.
I'm endorsing.
Now, she's talking about Pete Hegseth because of his Christian tattoo, but she is going to endorse a guy who has a Nazi tattoo by the name of Graham Plattner. Okay, let me see if I can find Plattner's tattoo, but you'll hear from her before I show that.
I'm endorsing Graham Plattner for Senate in Maine. And here's the reason why. Graham Plattner is the real deal, and people are ready to vote for someone who will actually fight for them. Not just nibble around the edges, not just wimp out at holding the rich and powerful accountable. Graham Plattner has the grit to go against the grain and to fight for what is right. And the people in Maine are fired up and excited for change. You know what? That's the energy, that's the fighting spirit that the Democratic Party needs now more than ever. Graham Plattner can help us win back the Senate, and he can help us build a country that doesn't just work for a tiny sliver at the top, but a nation that works for working families.
All right, there we go. That is Pocahontas talking about Graham Plattner. Now, let me show you guys the tattoo I'm speaking about. And here we go. Right here. So he says he got it covered up. Maine Senate candidate Plattner says tattoo recognized as Nazi symbol has been covered. And that is from October of last year, 25. And that's him. And there's a close-up of it. Hold on, right there. Okay, and that tattoo has been covered up. Now, I don't know really what that is. Maybe y'all know more about that, but I don't know. All right, so that's what's happening. And Hegseth, his tattoo was, the main one he has is this one right here. That's what they didn't like. They said that tattoo was a Nazi symbol. Oh, okay, so Pete Hegseth having a Christian tattoo that some say is a Nazi symbol is a problem, but Graham Plattner with a literal Nazi tattoo, that's not a problem. Or I covered it up. Or why you have it though? You know, like what's really going on? Anyway, let's keep on going. Let's keep on going here. We got Tampon Tim making an appearance talking about to our Somali Minnesotans, I'll never leave your side. I will always be there for you. Okay. Pledging allegiance to the Somalis of Minnesota. Of course, right?
And I will add a special thank you and a special acknowledgement that we will never leave the side of our Somali Minnesotans. Here's our pledge to you. Our Somali Minnesotans, your great-grandchildren will still be here when that orange clown is in the dustbin of history. You will be here.
All right, there we go. So that's Tampon Tim out there talking about, I love my Somalis. All right. I bet you do. And the fraud, they contribute to your economy. I think that the Somalis are there just for the fraud because they benefit from that, meaning Minnesotans benefit from the Somali fraud. Or that is a plan they have from their government. They're going to just take the money, that they're going to have the Somalis steal the money and put the money into the economy and function that way. That's kind of what I see happening. Now, Bernie Sanders, let's look at some of Bernie Sanders' greatest hits throughout the years. Okay, and we got the compare and contrast. Shout out to Maze for this particular video. On the left, he's fighting the oligarchy, and on the right, he is the oligarchy. And I said it before. Remember, Bernie Sanders would say back in the day, I'm fighting the millionaires and the billionaires. And then it became, I'm fighting the billionaires. What happened to the millionaires? Oh, because he got some money. He got motion. You know, he's traveling, he doing things, he buying houses and cars, and he got a car full of garages. He's chilling now, right? So no longer am I going to be the champion of the little guy because I'm the big guy. But anyway, let's watch.
How can I get by on one house? I need 5 houses.
I own 3 residences. Yeah, I do.
I need jet planes to take me all over the world.
Think I'm going to be sitting on a waiting line at United? That's the only way you can get around. No apologies for that.
Sorry, the American people. We've got the money. We've got the power.
Guess what? I'm a United States Senator.
How can I get by on one house? I need 5.
All right, there we go. So Bernie, you've changed quite a bit throughout the years because you got that money. So now it's like, I don't got to talk crazy like the way I was when I was young because I got money now. So what? I'm going to live my life. I got 3 houses, yeah, because, you know, you got to have your primary residence. Hold on, look. You got to have your primary residence. You got to have your little vacation and a little something for the side sheet. But look, and it's okay. It's okay because I'm Bernie Sanders and it's all right. I fought for the black cause in the 60s and whatnot, so it's okay. Anyway, shout out to the big Bernie getting money. Hey, Bernie, can I hold about $5? Don't worry about it. Shout out to the Jays. Hey, you know, it's funny because people that talk about the Jews, it's the Jews that totally ignore Bernie Sanders. He made his whole career off of telling you that rich people are bad, and that's how he became rich. By telling you don't get money, he got money. That is hilarious. But the blame the Jays crowd never bring them up. They support Bernie Sanders, but they want to blame the Jays at the same time. Anyway, brain dead. Let's keep rocking. Okay. Now, this was funny about Ilhan Omar. And then we got a No Kings protest, somebody in the street, and we got a little street interview. And the topic of Ilhan Omar comes up and how she married her brother, allegedly, for immigration fraud purposes. But let's watch this.
Oh, I was saying to deport Ilhan.
Because you think that she married her brother?
Yeah. There's DNA evidence.
And that's the basis? We'd have to deport like half of Appalachia for that, wouldn't we?
No, I've been to Appalachia. That's not true.
But it is true about Omar? How do you know that?
Because there's DNA evidence.
Oh, really? Where'd you get that?
Yeah, from this lawsuit where they went and collected some of her discarded items, like a cigarette, a Coca-Cola can, a hair. It's documented, though.
By who?
And the vice president just confirmed it as well.
The vice president is an idiot.
I'm sorry.
Is it true about him on the couch?
I mean, there's various things that she's done that would be deportable offenses.
And so you felt like you needed to come to this march to talk about that?
Yeah, because like No Kings, like it's so messed up that they're in Congress and that they just stay there forever and make millions and millions of dollars while having no skills.
And what about Trump and the pedophilia and Epstein? Do you believe that?
Donald Trump was not in the Epstein files. Donald Trump hated Jeffrey Epstein. He kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He exposed him long before any Democrats did.
How do you believe it? Look at the guy. Come on.
Look at old videos of him calling out Jeffrey Epstein.
I have.
And the Clintons.
Sure.
Yeah, what do you think about the Clintons' connection to it?
To Epstein?
Okay, well, it sounds like you support marrying, you support incest, I guess, and you support fraud.
No,
and
I support truth, and I just don't believe all
well, that's the truth, and I'm sorry, and if you don't like...
Let's pause right there. So my man, he's not liking what's going on too much. He's kind of be like, he's trying to be like a little bit menacing, trying to be intimidating. It's like, all right, Paul, we're not intimidated. We're not intimidated. If there was a man right there, you would not be with this type of almost like trying to be intimidated. You would do none of that. If I was there, you wouldn't do that. But anyway, let's talk about Ilhan Omar. See, it's not even about incest, which we're trying to talk about, Appalachia. And first of all, in Appalachia, if you like in a very far away place, that kind of stuff may happen. If you got like 2 people in your town and there's nobody for like 1,000 miles, something like that. But it's not like an everyday thing. Furthermore, what Ilhan Omar did was not about incest. It was about immigration fraud, which is what Somalis do. Fraud. That's what that was. So is anybody in Appalachia an American citizen committing immigration fraud? No. But the Somalis are, and that's the whole point. Even if we all our first cousins and brothers, which we're not committing immigration fraud and tax fraud and real estate fraud and fraud in general the same way Somalis are in Minnesota, Maine, and Somalia itself, Kenya, Nigeria, all over the whole planet. In Europe, Sweden, they commit fraud too. That's what they do. Not all, but a lot. And it is documented that she was married to her brother for immigration fraud, which is, again, what they do. But anyway, yeah, shout out to my man getting upset. Don't get upset, bro. Just, there's facts, there's reality, and that's it. Just focus on that. Now, we got a good story here. This woman, this mother from Memphis, had a great interaction with President Trump, and she wants TV to tell the story, okay? She had a great interaction with Trump, and she told her story on television. Check it out.
Show it to you here. He is by far the sweetest man I have ever met. When I tell you that he gave me and my family the experience of a lifetime, he affirmed me for minutes. You're great. You're wonderful. You're the MVP. You're going to go places. You're going to do things. And, and he was just completely thankful for me being there and sharing my truth. And I felt so honored.
And
so honored.
Delicia, I just want to get this in quickly. We only have a few moments, but you've incurred backlash for being so public?
Of course.
Yes, I have. I've been receiving all sorts of threats and things of that nature, strange phone calls. The U.S. Marshals actually have been, having to protect my home and patrol my home, because of it. But I'm not backing down. I am standing firm and standing, firm in my beliefs that this is what the president has done, and we are very, very grateful for it to this day, to this very moment. We still have not heard any gunshots. And I promise you, I will die on that hill making that testament. We're truly honored and truly, truly grateful. But yes, the backlash has been very, very thick, and a lot of it is coming from the left. The people that they consider to be this loving party. I have been receiving the nastiest racist comments. But like I said, I'm hanging in there. A lot of people have been asking how they could help. I do currently have a GoFundMe on my TikTok page, which you guys can visit at Delicia Ballinger. We definitely would love your support. But yes, we're dealing with that, but we're standing.
Yeah. God bless you, Delicia. God bless Braylon, who's at Trumpet Camp. Thank you so much for your courage.
Right on. So shout out to Delicia Ballinger. That's her name. Yeah, Delicia Ballinger. Shout out to her. And if you don't know, she is an anti-crime person in Memphis, because Memphis, everybody knows, is a big problem with crime. Shout out to the guard out there, for keeping everything kind of under control. Shout out to MPD and the Tennessee State Police. Shout out to everybody out there keeping the things under control. And shout out to her as well for being an anti-crime advocate. And thank you to Trump for honoring her, validating her, and showing her family a good time. Right on. And the more Americans are able to reach out and touch this president, they're able to see him really work and do things and be amongst us, the people, the less the lies of the media work. You can't say this guy's a racist, this guy's a hater, when all we see him do is positive things for people of all races in this country. So shout out to, again, President Trump and Delicia. Right on. And the left don't like it. A bunch of N-words. I've never been called the N-word so much. Like, before I came out as conservative, I never really got called no kind of names, online or off. Never really off, really, because people don't really do that to me in person. But online, oh my goodness, every single day. Monkey emojis, any kind of anti-black racial slur you can get, I get from the left every single day. And they're the ones telling me that it's the right that don't like me and they're the racists. Oh, okay, well, I can't tell. Because there's only one side of the aisle calling me the N-word every 2 seconds. And it's not the right, it's the left. But anyway, shout out to Trump and shout out to Delicia. Now, this guy says a lot of people are on the left, not the right. They are not conservative, they're liberal, because it's much easier to be liberal than conservative. All right, let's check it out.
It's not a mystery why so many people are left-wing. Being left-wing is just easier. It's easier to be the person who says free healthcare for everybody, free college for everybody, no borders, borders are mean. I saw a picture of a kid crying once, so we shouldn't have laws. We should let everybody have whatever pronouns they want. It's much easier to live in fairyland and say all these things that sound nice on the surface without thinking of any secondary consequences of any of those things than to be the person grounded in reality who asks the mean questions like, but wait, how would we pay for free healthcare and free college for everybody? But wait, shouldn't we know who's coming in and out of our country? But wait, maybe pronouns matter. Maybe the structure of the English language that we communicate with, maybe that matters. A lot of people are leftists simply because they care more about being well-liked than doing what is right. And if you want to be well-liked, you're just going to say what the nice sounding thing is.
Exactly. Yeah, you're worried about being liked. You're worried about what you think people want to hear, what you think is the right thing to say. But you're not actually looking into what you're saying, which is why when you ask someone at a protest, okay, you're out here anti-Trump, you hate Trump, orange man bad. Why do you feel that way? What has he done that has made you feel this way? What about his policy that you don't like? They're coming up short with answers because they don't actually know. All they know is they want to be seen as doing the right thing. They want to be on the quote unquote right side. A lot of them are brainwashed into believing that what they're saying is correct when it's incorrect. And the only thing they have, the only point of reference for what they say is their brainwashing. They've been told this is the right thing, but they've not been told why. Here you come trying to tell them why. They're already 40 years old, 20 years old, 30 years old. They know everything already, and they don't want to hear it. And then here comes the violence. And that's what a lot of you leftists do in general. So, yeah, shout out to him. Very well said.
We're here.
Now, this is hilarious. So, this is a communism conference, okay? A communism conference. And for some reason, at a communism conference, there are quite a bit of capitalist things to be able to purchase. A lot of little trinkets and whatnot. But let's watch this.
We're here at the Lenin School in Bristol, and I'm going around asking comrades what they got from the merch stall. What's your haul?
I've got a guitar pick from the RCP with Marx at the back. I've got Marx and Engels 3D bust, Marx's Introduction to Women's Struggle, and also I got very inspired by the talk by Rob Sewell, so I got his book.
I won the Lenin statue in the raffle, and I got this fantastic t-shirt as well.
I bought the official Lenin School t-shirt.
Yesterday I got myself the 2 volumes of The Idol, The Indefense of Lenin, written by Rob Sewell and Alan Woods. And then today, after Lewis's talk, got it in the cause of Labour, because I found that talk very inspiring. I got the British General Strike, A Communist History of the British General Strike by Ben Glenecki. It recounts the history of the General Strike of 1926, how the workers basically got so close to taking power in Britain, but were actually ended up getting betrayed by their own leadership.
My Lenin School haul, got a big haul here. I got Marxism and Art. I got Ireland, especially this period of Irish history doesn't get taught in Britain very often, so there's a lot to go through here and chew through, and Alan Woods is a lovely writer. Got a Karl Marx poster. Then I got a little bust for my mantelpiece.
I bought an RCP song collection, which I love my revolutionary songs. A book on the General Strike by Benji, as well as a bookmark, and of course, can't forget Lenin bust, right?
Okay, there's quite a few interesting books, quite a few interesting doodads and doohickeys they got, but you guys are engaging in full capitalism. Okay, you got all kind of buttons, all kind of books, bookmarks. This is capitalism. You guys basically had a market set up for you with all kind of vendors from all over the world probably, and they sold you things. They made a bunch of money. I'm sure the guys who sold you all this stuff don't care anything about your communism at all. Okay, you want this? Well, I'm going to procure it and I'm going to sell it. They probably bought it wholesale and sold it to you at 100% markup, and they made a big bag on that day. Matter of fact, I got some good books for you. You can see I got some books behind me. 1984. I got Animal Farm, Art of War, Kill a Mockingbird. I got quite a few books, but the one you need is Animal Farm. Hold on 1 second. That's what you need right there. Let me get my headphones. That's what you need right here. Animal Farm. Okay, read that. All the communists. You know what I would do? I would go to a communist camp like that out there. I guess that's in UK. I'll go to a communist camp like that and just show them this one book right here. Animal Farm. That would kill a lot of the communist talking points. And again, I suggest you should read this when you're young. Before they get to be this age, before they get to be adults, wearing mascara and stuff like this, before they get to be that age, hey, send them to Dagestan 2-3 years and forget, and give them this right here and a few more. But that's a good starter book for these individuals. So yeah, shout out to them. Let's keep rocking and rolling here. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, speaking about rocket scientists, we have a DoorDash person who I guess was following the GPS on their app on the e-bike trying to deliver some food. But they got on the actual highway with the e-bike and now they stuck.
I was wondering if DoorDash support could contact me because I followed the route that they gave me on an e-bike and it's on the highway and I'm very scared because I can't get in the traffic or I might get hit and I don't know how to get off of the highway now that they sent me on this route. I've had this problem ever since I signed up for DoorDash with using an e-bike. I expressed my concern of them sending dashers on an e-bike on dangerous routes that could get them killed. The reason why I cannot get in traffic is because it's 60 to 70 miles an hour and this e-bike only goes 25. So the likelihood of me getting hit or killed is very great.
Okay, now look, if you want to be out there door dashing, I suggest you get a car or look at it right before you take it. If you know you're about to go to a highway, you see kind of what's going on, you might want to say, you know what, I can't get on here because this is not very safe. I'm going to be in a world of trouble. So yeah, I don't know what to tell you, but you can't park there. Okay, you can't park there. You got to get off the road. So yeah, let's just not. Let's just not. All right, and you know what? Them people at that conference, the Capitalism conference, they're going to come here and do the exact same thing. Doing something silly on the road, trying to be a door dasher. All right, let's not do that. Now, these are some French tourists talking about Trump is killing tourism in California. Well, excuse me. These are French tourists in California. Gavin Newsom would say Trump is killing California's tourism. But these French tourists say, well, actually, Gavin, it's something else that's killing tourism. And it's not Trump. Let's watch.
We're from France. And yeah, we're shocked, especially in some of the neighborhoods, by the amount of homeless person or people trying to come up to you and ask for money or food or something. And of the people in the street and how dirty it might be in some neighborhoods.
They don't have some clothes on, and yeah, they're naked sometimes. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on right there. If you see something like that, if you're seeing this scene right here, and I can't show too much because YouTube is not like this kind of stuff. Okay, I showed that before. They didn't really like it too much. But yeah, if you're seeing people with no clothes on, begging, you're seeing doo-doo on the ground as a tourist, that's not a very good look at all. Now, some say, oh, ABL is only in certain neighborhoods. Why are the tourists seeing it, though? The tourists shouldn't be seeing this kind of stuff. That should be kind of out of sight for them. They should be able to go to their hotel, go to a restaurant, and not encounter fentanyl ferrets all over the place. Okay, that shouldn't be what's going on. You shouldn't be seeing this just out in the open while you're trying to go to where you got to go. All the drug paraphernalia, you got, theft paraphernalia, a little bit of everything going on. It's just too much. It's too much. Lord Gavin, please fix your state. San Francisco, Los Angeles, please fix your state. All right. Let's keep rocking and rolling here. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, this is a very interesting video. I'm going to guess a little bit about the migration stuff. This is from Japan, okay? And this woman is talking about the whole thing of Japanese people being polite is propaganda, and they're not really polite. especially when it comes to immigration. Okay, now this is very interesting. Let's watch. Let's check it out.
I'm sorry, this needs to be said, but when you see those videos talking about how Japanese people are so polite, they're so nice, that's propaganda. In order to survive on this godforsaken island, you need to understand it's not that Japanese people are somehow more polite than other ethnicities, it's that they're fake as fuck. And I'm Japanese, I can say that. So as
And I'm sorry for the cussing. So she got a little bit of cussing going on, but let's keep on going.
So as you know, people aren't having babies and our birth rate is dying. So there's been programs like this. You know, in order to address labor shortages, there was a partnership with some African countries like Nigeria and Ghana and Tanzania to create these like hometowns in local Japanese areas. And again, it's not for fun, it's for work. And of course, netizens are losing their minds. And if you didn't know, if you want to get Plan B in Japan, it's not over the counter. You need a prescription. And this is a fact that like really ruined my teenage years after I got assaulted by a Japanese boy. But now there's been a push to like actually start making it more accessible, not for reproductive rights, but because people are afraid of rising SA cases with the increase of foreigners. So yeah, Japanese people are polite to your face, but then they go and vote for far-right parties like Sanseto that are extremely like anti-immigration. Y'all need to stop conflating Nintendo World with Japan as a country, because McFascism is doing a world tour and she is selling out arenas, even here.
Okay, now let's pause. Let me get a good freeze frame. Okay, let's pause. Matter of fact, hold on. Japan is homogenous like China. Very homogenous. It's not many people other than Japanese. It's like that for a reason, because you guys are a very old culture, a very old people, and you want to keep things the way they've been. You modernize and you change, but you don't want outside cultures to come in and ruin what you got going on, whether it be African, whether it be European, whether it be other Asians like Chinese. You want to keep Japan Japanese. What's wrong with that? That's racist to say that. That's racist to say that. And then they're talking about Plan B being more accessible because of the rise in assault. Yeah, you say you got assaulted, and I'm sorry that happened, but there's more assault now because you're bringing in all these migrants. You see, you want the migrants for work. And this is a thing all over the world with a lot of these leftists. They want migrants for work, like a pseudo slave class, rather than them doing the work themselves. They want to bring in slaves or underclass. With that underclass will come problems. You're not just going to get work. She's talking about something, oh, it's just work. That's not the way it works. These are real human beings that have real issues, real cultures, real needs, real concerns. They're going to be living in your country. And if they are not culturally acclimated, they're going to cause problems. And again, it's not about them being African. They could be European, African, other Asians like Chinese, Vietnamese, Filipino, whatever they are. You got to make sure that whoever comes to your country is going to be able to fit into what you got going on. And it's the same thing for Japan, USA, China, Nigeria, wherever you at, you got to fit into what's going on. Simple as that. It's not racist to say that. Not at all. Not racist at all to say that. It's just common sense. Because Japan is a beautiful place, beautiful people, and it's like that for a reason. Because it's like, what, 98, 99% Japanese. Okay, now, this is Windsor, Ontario, Canada, right across from Detroit, Michigan. Okay, because you know Detroit's right there on the border. It's a bridge, there's a river right there. Cross that water. Is it a river right there or is it a lake? Anyway, let's watch this. This is how even Canada are getting these migrants coming in who are being paid by the government to be there.
They're not gangster or nothing, but they got Bear Mace, and that's what we run around with. Bloomfield is all where all the African kids are. We're all like
African immigrant kids.
Yeah, this is the West End is our side. All those broken houses, abandoned houses.
When you say black people, you mean like Canadian born or immigrant?
Take a look over there, like those type of people. You know, those people are from Bahamas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they moved here and they get paid. They just get paid to live here. Our taxes will go to some people like over there too. Like they just made brand new houses for those little kids over there, like a whole new park. You got to talk to a real immigrant about that.
We kept hearing the immigrants were getting money and free housing from the government. We wanted to know if that was true, so we set off for the immigrant neighborhood.
What country are you from?
I'm from Africa, Somalia.
Somalia, okay. And I got it's a part 2. I have that one as well. Let me just pause right there. So you seeing this guy, a black Canadian, he probably had been there for a long time because he was probably from the U.S. and went to Canada after slavery or during slavery, because that happened quite a bit. A lot of black Americans was in like Nova Scotia during slavery to escape. So that he probably been there for a long time. And now, okay, now we bringing in these new migrants from the Bahamas, from Somalia, from here and there. And not only are they being brought in, they're being subsidized, they're being paid. Somebody said in the comments they're getting up to 60 grand per person, up to 60 grand a year per person. Okay, that's like the max. How is that fair? You are a regular everyday working Joe and don't get that money. You got to pay a bunch of money in taxes. You get taxed to death so they can use it. And then on top of that, they get straight cash money in their pocket. What's going on? Okay. And here is a part 2 of that. It was in 2 different clips.
What country are you from?
I'm from Africa, Somalia. I was 10 years. Yeah, I come to Windsor. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice city and it's a beautiful city, but small town.
Your family came all the way to Canada, right? Because there's so much opportunity.
Yeah, yeah.
And yet you have so many people here, you know, who are homeless, who are on drugs. Why do you think they're like that?
They will get money, they finish all money to do cracks because they don't think what's going to happen next, after what's going to happen before you do cracks.
To you, what does it mean to be Canadian? Like, what values do you think Canadians have?
I'm happy for it, to become Canadian. And they have a nice people and nice government, and how they help us so much. Canadian government, they bring us here in Windsor. Yeah, they give us their room for free, and they pay us some little money to buy some snack, food, some lunch. Yeah, they help us very, very much.
All right, there we go. So he's saying the Canadian government, they brought us out here, they're giving us free hotel rooms, giving us little money for snacks and whatnot, up to 60 grand a year. All right. Now, the question is, why not invest the money into your Canadian citizens? He mentioned the whole thing about drug abuse as if they don't do drugs, but the drug abuse is a valid concern that is affecting Americans, Canadians, et cetera, which is part of the reason why we wanted the border to be closed, because a lot of drugs coming through the border. I think I played one video where there was one county somewhere in the USA where there were quite a few deaths from drugs. I think it was fentanyl. Yeah, quite a few fentanyl overdoses. And then when Trump came in, that pretty much shut all the fentanyl stuff down. There was a slight increase in meth, but not really, not anything to where it made a difference. The biggest problem was the fentanyl stuff. But the left are fighting to keep the border open, to keep the fentanyl just pouring on in, which will result in more drug-addicted Americans and Canadians and more deaths from the drugs and less productivity overall. Okay, so moral of the story is there needs to be a lot more done to take care of people that are already here if you want more productivity, rather than bringing in the illegal aliens or the migrants, whatever you want to call them, and paying them money. And a lot of them don't even do anything. The Somalis especially, all they do is just scam and steal. Anybody could do that. Anybody could do that. Okay, now, have you guys experienced your Uber driver not speaking the English? Have you guys experienced that? Okay, now, I think I experienced that one time. I was in LA, the first time I went to LA. The dude didn't speak no English. He was pretty much grunting. I was like kind of offended. Like, you're just gonna grunt and you ain't gonna say nothing. I didn't like it. Not a good first impression to Los Angeles. If you drive Uber and you can speak English, shout out to you. But let's watch this.
I am so sick of these people coming over here not speaking English, like not a lick of English. My Lyft driver just left me at my second stop. I had 2 stops. He left me at my second stop. Came outside, he was gone. if you don't speak English, I feel like you should not be qualified to do anything pertaining to customer service. Like Lyft, Uber, I'm tired of it. How are y'all maneuvering without speaking English? They just look at you or they make noises like they understand you. It's so irritating. It's so annoying. It's so irritating. Like, how, do you not understand your job? How did you leave me at the second stop? Hello. So what do you do about my Lyft driver left me here?
Excuse me?
Never mind.
Well, she got a brand new person right there. But I get the frustration. I totally understand. Because it's like, look, okay. I think that when I'm in the USA, if I'm getting a service from somebody, an Uber or whatever, it'd be nice if you spoke English, just a little bit of English. I don't know, Ubers and Lyfts, I don't know, because on one hand, talking about some Waymo, I don't want to get into Waymo because I don't trust the electric vehicles. They do whatever they want to do. It's probably some dude, it's probably Pancho in Philippines. Pancho is in Manila, Philippines, with a PlayStation controller and some pedals, doing donuts with me in the car, making dangerous maneuvers. Okay, I don't want that, and I don't want the guy that don't pick no English. Let's just speak some basic English, you know. We don't got to have like a whole big conversation, just basic little stuff. And maybe one day they come out with some kind of device that could just translate real time. I can't do with the grunting. And she said it make a little noise like they hear you. Yeah, like it's like that's not how you communicate. Yes, no, we're on the right way. You know, that's enough. How did they get a license? Ain't no license. You know that. You know how they do. California, especially, ain't no license. They do whatever they want. We saw them in Springfield, Ohio, when the Haitians came in. Sakafet, Nabule, all that. You know the whole thing. Shout out to y'all. But in Springfield, Ohio, no license. They went to the DMV and got a sheet of paper, like a waiver. Go ahead, you could drive. It's no problem. And of course, they couldn't drive. And when they were driving, the more they drove, the more time they drove in this town, the more they caused their car insurance to skyrocket to the point where it was 3 times what it was before they got there, because it kept causing accidents, speeding, all kind of extra stuff because they couldn't drive because they ain't had a real license. Same thing in California. A lot of them, no license. They drive in trucks and can't even speak English. So you already know how they are with the cars. They do whatever they want to do. All right. Let's keep rocking and rolling here. And where we going to go? We got a little bit more. Hold on. Okay.
Do you believe?
So this is the BlackRock CEO, Larry Fink, talking about the woke experiment has failed. And I believe he's correct. You may like or dislike BlackRock, and that's fine. But I think we can all agree that the woke experiment has most certainly failed. All right. Let's check it out right here.
Do you believe the woke era a failed experiment? The ESG, the DEI, the kind of push for that. That when you talk about things now, you talk in a practical sense, what we can do, what we can get done. Looking back at that, how do you see it?
Society moves, the pendulum moves all the time. In BlackRock's cases, we are responsible for managing money for everybody. And even today, as you said, maybe these, renewables are less talked about it. I can tell you right now, we have many investors worldwide are investing in renewables, trying to emphasize solar and other things like that. We're working with Occidental Petroleum right now to building the best carbon capture factories in Texas right now. So do I believe the pendulum 5 years ago was too far? Yes. You do? I believe we're more I'm personally more pragmatic too. And I believe...
But do you think BlackRock pushed some companies a little bit further left than you thought?
It was never our intention, because our job is to be... I got to be a fiduciary to everybody who gives us money. Our responsibility, Brett, is to making sure if one of our investors wants to invest 100% in hydrocarbons in Texas, I'm investing 100% of the money in Texas. But if another state fund wants us to invest in, let's say, all green energy, we're going to do that. It's their money. But today, because of AI, and the overwhelming need for power and electricity, it can't just be one way right now. It can't just be hydrocarbons. So if you see what it even...
Let's pause right here. Now, what he said about AI and all of that, that's real, because the demand for power, water, natural resources, the demand for natural resources that AI is demanding right now is a lot. And it throws the whole green movement, woke movement away. It throws it away altogether. I said it before. I might have been saying it on my stream. I don't know if it was last time or Wednesday, or Tuesday on Instagram. I don't know. But if you're an EV driver, that's totally fine. If you like AI tools, ChatGPT, Grok, whatever it is, Meta AI, it's totally fine. If you like technology that uses AI, even if you don't directly interface with an AI tool, okay? Like a lot of apps at this point operate with AI. Your Google, your Facebook has AR already in it working. Your algorithms and all of that, it's a lot of AR already working, even if you don't see it. So if you use these things, you can't then say, I'm green, I'm a tree hugger, all this, that, and the third, because these things that you use every day consume quite a bit of natural resources, okay? How are you going to power up the grid without so-called fossil fuels, without your petroleum, your coal? Coal is one of the biggest things. I said it before. The AI movement, the EV movement is going to cause a renaissance in coal usage because they got to power the grid some kind of way. Now, eventually, what will happen is they'll have more nuclear. They're talking about you can have data centers that come with their own like nuclear reactors. I'm hearing about that. That's kind of like in the pipeline. You'll see that because they have to. They don't got another choice. They can't keep taxing the grid like this. It's just too much. It's too much for the energy grid to bear the way it is. They're tapping into a grid. It's meant for just like regular houses to turn lights on and run a washing machine and a dishwasher. It's not meant to power these behemoths of data centers. Now, eventually what will happen is they'll get AI so advanced to where it could just be like, you know how, like I put it to you this way. At one point, a computer, at one point, the power that's in this device would have filled a whole building. Like this at one point could have been the size of a data center. If this was like in the 1970s, the computers we had, the desktops in the 90s and late 80s would have been in the whole big room. And that was very low computing power before the World Wide Web and all of that. Now we got streaming this and that and AI all in this device in the palm of your hand. So this computing power now, the equivalent in the 70s would have been a data center. So the next step is for the data center to get reduced down to a thing like this. However, it's going to be a while, and it'll take a lot of natural resources, power, water, all of that to make it happen. 8-Bit Only says old light bulbs used to 60 watts of power. Today's LEDs use 6 watts. One AI server can use 2,000 watts. Wow. Hey. And the thing about LEDs is that you got some issues with LEDs because of the wavelengths, but I don't want to go down that road, so I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Carolyn Jones says that's why the data centers will build their own grids. They're going to have to. They're going to have to. It's just too much. It's too much to tap into the existing grid. There's not enough coal in the world. They're going to have some kind of new power. Definitely, I would say like a nuclear reactor just for a data center. But eventually they can start to not do that anymore as they get more information, more knowledge. And maybe the bet here is as they keep advancing with AI, as it keeps getting smarter and smarter, they'll figure out new ways to what's the word I'm looking for? They'll figure out more ways to optimize AI to use fewer resources. Okay, now we got Bob Costas talking about the Transformers in Olympics. Now, if y'all ever watch sports at all, I believe it might have been NBC, CBS, one of these stations. Like football, I think Bob Costas will come on during halftime and give you a lecture like it's your dad. Well, today, America, we've learned this. It's like, all right, Bob Costas, thank you for, giving me this lecture, this woke lecture. But here he is being a little bit, what the cool kids say, based, talking about the Transformers who have now been banned from the Olympics. Well, they can compete in the Olympics, but they can't compete against the women. If you're a transformer, you now identify as a woman, but you are a man biologically, you cannot compete against biological women in the Olympics. Check it out.
You were the face of the Olympics for so many years. This news today about the IOC basically banning trans athletes, that there's going to be a genetic test.
Yeah.
Your reaction to that and this very complicated issue?
Give me enough time to address this so I'm not misunderstood. There are people who use this issue cynically for political purposes, and they're demonizing people who happen to be trans.
Bob Costas. But you know what? Okay. I have to expect that he's going to say something like that because he is a leftist. Okay, he is a leftist. You got to preface it with that. But you're going to say what needs to be said regardless. Let's watch.
Who should be treated with respect and dignity and understanding. However, common sense is not transphobic. There's a reason why the high school champions don't compete with the college champions. There is a reason why no trans man who was once a woman and has become a man has ever competed successfully with men in the Olympics. If Caitlin Clark could play in the NBA, everybody would applaud it. That'd be an incredible thing. But if the last guy on the bench of an NBA team went to the WNBA and started averaging 40 points a game, everyone would know that is BS. There's a reason why Sugar Ray Leonard, who was a contemporary of Mike Tyson, didn't fight Mike Tyson. They were in different weight classes. There is a reason why there are men's and women's sports and why Title IX was one of the truly progressive pieces of legislation in the best sense of the word progressive under the Nixon administration. It changed everything. I had a sister who never played a single organized sport. One generation later, 2 children of my own. My daughter played just about as many organized sports as my son. That's a great thing. It doesn't make any sense to have a swimmer who was the 472nd ranked swimmer when he was a man at Penn, either winning or coming close to winning against women a year and a half after transitioning. If that's what the person wants to do, that person should be treated with dignity and respect. But there ought to be common sense, and common sense is not transphobic.
And this policy.
Right on, 100% Bob Costas. And again, Bob is a leftist. As you heard from the beginning, he's a stone cold stomp down leftist, but common sense is common sense. You can't have, that's the what was that, Leah Thomas? That was the crazy thing. Like, I covered quite a few of these stories. Leah Thomas, William, that was the laziest. Hey, William, Will, Big Willie. Why would you just use Leah? Like, just part of your dude name? You're looking like a 6'4" X-Pac from DX, WWE, WWF. You're looking like that out there competing against women. How dare you, bro? You're not good enough to compete against the men, but you still are a man. So once you go compete against the women, you're going to dominate. If you're not good enough as a man, just say that rather than saying, I'm a woman now, and now I'm going to go compete with the women. Nah. And you still got all your equipment, making the girls uncomfortable in the private area. It's just too much. I don't know how we got to the point where we allowed this to happen. I don't know who said it was okay. Maybe just people were afraid to speak up and not let this happen. They didn't want to be called transphobic, homophobic. I don't care. Call me whatever you want to call me. You can say, "Hey, you trans." Yes, I am transphobic. Now what? And what? What you gonna do about it? Nothing. Let's not let the men compete with the women. Period. Identify however you want to identify. You could be Irvin Magic Johnson's son, this big 6'8" dude, looking like I don't know what's going on. You're looking masculine, but you got feminine stuff happening. I don't know what's happening. Do that if you want to, but you're still a man, regardless of what is going on. Okay, now we got a female TikToker saying we got a female TikToker echoing my sentiments about this whole transformer issue, saying, hey, you know what? I'm an actual woman and you are not if you are a woman, and you are not if you are a man pretending to be a woman, okay? Let's check it out. Shout out to her.
Oh, and another thing, I'm not letting no transformer tell me I'm a cis woman. No, I'm a woman, cis. Yeah, let's get that straight.
I'm gonna claim transformer for myself. I don't want to listen to a transformer call me cis.
Bro, why are you trying to mock her voice? The funny part about this, you're trying to mock a real woman's voice as you're a man trying to sound more feminine. And either way, you sound just like a man. I'm not believing your trans voice or your mocking voice, but I digress.
It's not an insult. Okay. Thanks for the.
You sound like Barney from The Simpsons, like you've been drinking in Moe's bar, and you've been in Moe's tavern getting drunk. Hey, Homer. You sound like that. Anyway, let's start from right here.
Sis. It's not an insult. Okay. Thanks for the cool nickname. Maybe argue about something more important.
Burp. Hey, Homer. That's you.
Oh, and another thing. I'm not letting no transformer tell me I'm a cis. Bitch, you're a cis woman. How about that? I'll say the shit to your face, to your mom's face, to your dad's face, bitch. You're a cis woman.
Why she gotta be all that? Why she gotta be the B word? Why you be so aggressive? Why are the Transformers so aggressive? You know what? I'll tell you what. I may make jokes about these guys and I say little things, but if I see them in person, I'm ready to square up. I'm like, hey, you know what? I don't want no smoke. I'm not trying to get beat up by one of you guys. I ain't trying to get one of y'all to, just, sneak attack me, sucker punch me, knock my tooth out. I don't want to see this dude with his wig on, held on by a headband, hit me in the jaw, and I get a tooth to go flying. That'd be totally embarrassing. Y'all see me on World Star. Hey, that's ABL getting beat up by the dude with the wig on. That's not very good. That wouldn't be a very good look. Okay. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Let's keep going. Now, we have a transgender attorney who got tackled to the ground. He got arrested in Oklahoma. And he has an LGBT law firm, or he had one, but he closed it down. Hey, I tell you what, bro, just get some anger management, get some Jesus in your life, go to church, and work all that out. All that you got inside, you gotta get up, you gotta get beyond that, bro.
All right, we're gonna pick you up, bro.
No, I don't. Get a female officer now. Get a female officer now. Get a female officer now.
A female officer, bro. You looking like Khabib on the ground right there. You're looking like a whole professional wrestler on the ground. You're good about 245. You got a little bit of muscle. A girl cop can't do nothing with you. You gonna need some big dudes right there to get a hold of you.
Now. Get a female officer now. I can't get up. I can't see. He just threw my glasses. I can't see. Give me my glasses. Put them on my face. No. Put them on my face. I cannot see. Go. Please give me my glasses. I cannot see. I'm trying to walk and I cannot see. I need my wallet. Please don't touch me.
Judge said take him to jail for contempt of court. And then the file was on.
At this time, it is the right move for me to step away. As many of you all heard, there was an incident that took place in another county, a rural county, and there are more details of that incident.
Okay, now he's over here trying to just, cop please, or I got to shut everything down. I step away. Let me tell you what happened. So, February this year, 26, a child custody hearing in Pontotoc County District Court in Ada, Oklahoma, took a sharp turn. Attorney Rob Hopkins, who identifies as male and transgender, represented a client in the case. The hearing centered on paperwork issues and the client's failure to appear because of an open warrant and a protective order for another county. George Lori Jackson started by addressing Hopkins about his use of the word "but" while quoting a bailiff. Things heated up fast. Hopkins raised his voice and demanded that the judge point to the exact paragraph in the ruling. The judge warned him to stop interrupting or face contempt charges. Hopkins kept going. He pointed his finger and insisted he was not finished with his argument. At one point, his phone hit the floor. Hopkins later said it fell by accident. The judge called the action inappropriate and told him to stop shouting. So from there, things just kind of devolved, and he wound up getting hemmed up by the police. Okay, just not following orders, wanting to be disorderly, just kind of a basket case of a human being. And then get a female officer, bro. You need to seek Jesus in your life, because I don't know what you got going on, but it ain't right. It's not right. Okay, now speaking about things that are not right, TSA was not paid for a very long time, 42 days, and now they will be getting paid starting on Monday, March 30th, 2026. Check it out.
The Senate passing a bill overnight to fund TSA and most of the Department of Homeland Security.
But the legislation excludes funding for ICE and most of CBP.
The Senate passing.
Now, the whole thing about first of all, let's go back. So the Senate had passed a bill and the House had rejected it. The House still squabbling over it. But the Senate bill said, okay, we're going to fund TSA so they can get paid now. But the bill will not have funding for ICE or Border Patrol. But they don't need funding because they're already funded through 2029 through the big, beautiful bill. There's already $75 billion set aside. $75 billion would it be? There's already $75 billion set aside for ICE and Border Patrol. They don't need funding right now. Who needs funding right now is TSA, because there is no funding. So this bill would have got it done. But the House came back and said, we don't want this because there's no funding for ICE and Border Patrol. Although, again, there is funding to 2029. What Trump did before this broke was say, all right, it's now becoming an emergency at the airport with the TSA. Now, here's a executive order. Hey, it's an emergency. We got to use it right now. Let's get them funded because we got a security risk because of so few TSA agents, and we got very long wait times. So travel is being disrupted. Let's get TSA back paid again to fix the issue. Now, like I said, TSA should be privatized as they are in certain parts of the country. Kansas City, Missouri, San Fran, California. There are private security companies that have federal contracts, and they operate the exact same as TSA. Get the same training, the same everything. There's no difference. You probably would go there and not know the difference. You go to Kansas City, wherever, you're not going to tell the difference because it's all the same thing. The key difference is that they're not funded by the DHS. They're funded by a private federal contract. If you got a private security firm at an airport that acts as TSA, does the screening and whatnot, that's a federal contract. They get vetted, and they cannot be disrupted by political conflict, which is what's happening right now with ICE. But anyway, let's keep on moving here. Let's keep rocking and rolling. So this is Toronto's mayor, Olivia Chow, from Hong Kong, now in Canada, talking about ICE out. Now, pardon my ignorance. Do we have ICE in Canada? Is that a thing that happens? I'm not really sure. Maybe because you got a border place. I don't know how that works. But do we have ICE in Canada? Let's watch this.
Mayor Chow, what do you think about ICE coming to Toronto?
ICE have no place in this city. Toronto is about to welcome thousands and thousands of families because of FIFA World Cup, where everyone belongs, everyone's welcome. So stay out, ICE. We do not need you here.
Mayor Chow.
All right, there we go. So you got a Chinese Communist Party member right there in Canada. Okay, allegedly, that's just my humble opinion, talking about ICE out in Toronto. But it's a big deal. I think they just want the borders to be wide open and let the whole world come over here. And since ICE does not want that to happen, they got a problem with ICE. Okay. Now, I'm glad that there are a bunch of these guys approaching ICE in a negative way in the airport and filming it so we can see who the bad guys are. Because these guys that want to harass ICE think they're the good guys, but the truth, the reality is that they're not the good guys. They are the bad guys. And you're going to see right here. Check it out. Yes, that's right. Philip, Mayor Chow. That was her name. And you guys are hilarious with the emojis. I'm seeing you guys are so funny in the chat. The funniest chat in the world. But let's watch.
Do you mind helping me figure out how you guys are helping? I keep asking, but nobody seems to know.
What did you ask?
How 7 or 8 of y'all that were just leaving. And they didn't answer. They kept running away. So what are you doing here to help?
Why your voice is so stressed out?
Why don't you just answer the question?
I don't have to.
You're right, you don't have to. That's classic ICE behavior. But you should answer it because I'm paying your job. I'm paying your salary.
Okay, thank you.
So you're not welcome. You're stealing from the American people. But why don't you just answer, how are you helping? Look at these long lines.
Why are you so upset? That's not a dumb
Because you
question.
guys are terrorists and thugs. Why would I not be upset? Everybody should be upset at you.
Listen, sir, that's your own opinion, okay?
It's not an opinion, it's fact.
No, it's your opinion.
It's fact. The majority of Americans hate your guts. That's a fact.
Okay.
Because you're using our tax dollars.
Have a nice day.
TSA's not getting paid. You're getting paid. You guys were big and tough in Minneapolis, slaughtering innocent Americans. But here you can't talk or answer questions?
Because I don't know you.
That is a dumb response. You do say dumb things, don't you?
And you know what? You're not trying to talk. You're just kind of like talking at me. You don't want to talk because everything is aggressive. Everything is negative. The ICE agents, these guys couldn't be nicer. They're being kind of respectful to you. And it kills a narrative of, oh, they're just murderous dogs out to get you. Because it's only one side being aggressive, being hateful, being negative, while the other side is being kind of polite. And the guy who's trying to be on this high horse, this moral high ground, is not the one being polite. He's not the one being nice. He is the aggressor. He is the person who I don't like in a situation. But I'm gonna let him finish.
Everything you've said or asked me is dumb so far. So nothing from you. He's talking. Why not you or you? Do you not talk either? Six-figure salaries, $50,000 bonuses. I can talk to whoever I want. Don't tell me to leave anyone alone.
Okay. Can I leave?
Huh?
Should I ask you for permission?
No,
leave?
whatever
Okay,
you want,
thank you
face.
very much.
You
That's
can do
what
whatever you want.
Why are you cursing me? Did I curse you?
Again, with the dumb questions. You are full of them. I'd rather speak to the guys that aren't speaking because you just said dumb thing after dumb thing.
Okay, you know what? That part at the end, that pretty much sealed it. You don't want to talk to him because he's going to respond to you. He's going to ask you real questions. You're the one to answer. The guys who are not speaking, you want to talk to them because you could just express yourself and they don't say nothing back to you. You see, you want to harass them. You want to bully them without there being any kind of consequence, any kind of negativity, any kind of anything pointed back at you. You see, people like that I hate. If you want to say something to me, just say it with your chest and accept me saying something back to you. Let's have a conversation. Don't just try to bully me and I can't do nothing. I can't say nothing back to you. That's not very nice. That's not nice at all. And meanwhile, you want to be the good guy. You're not the good guy. Not at all. All right.
No.
Now, rather than engaging with them, getting upset with them, this is what I would do. This is what I would do when faced with one of these ridiculous people trying to harass me if I was an ICE agent. Check it out.
No thoughts. You guys are the foot soldiers of a fascist regime, right? Is that not what it is? Is that funny? Is that funny? No thoughts.
Yes, it is funny. Yes, it is funny. And it's funny because these people, these leftists, will be in the airports trying to harass ICE agents, talking about racism, sexism, xenophobia, all kind of stuff. Meanwhile, it's mostly a minority organization, speaking about ICE. From what I was able to read, ICE is largely Hispanic. There's a lot of black ICE agents, a lot of other racially ambiguous guys. Like even right here, the guy in the front, some kind of Dominican or something like this. This guy, he might be some kind of black, like he black, like a black American, and the other guy black too. Okay, and the guy right next to him, he black, and the guy right next to him is also black. Okay, but you got these white liberal guys who want to come in talking about how bad they are. Why are you harassing these black men while trying to be the guy who says that he's not racist, he's not anything? He's supposed to be the good guy. He's supposed to be the champion. You are not the champion, sir. You are the villain. You are the problem. And these guys are the ones trying to solve the problem that you have brought to the table. Even if it's not you here illegally, you vote for the illegal aliens to be here. You vote for ICE agents to be defunded. You want the problem to exist. The reason why they got to be there is because of you. But yeah, shout out to them for laughing it off. That's how you do it. That is how you do it. Okay. Now, some of us appreciate the ICE agents in the airport and in general. The lady right here is in the airport like, hey, can I get my son signed up for ICE? And shout out to you guys who are seeing these videos and getting inspired to join ICE. And a lot of y'all want to go back to the military as well. I saw David Goggins went back to the military at like 51 years old, however old he is. How old is Goggins? David Goggins is 51. Yeah. So shout out to you guys who are interested in serving. Hopefully we're not going to be in a forever war over there in Iran. I don't think it will be, but it had to be done. Let's watch this.
Okay, that would be a good training. Yeah, because that's all he does is weapons right now. And these firearms and short
Yeah, this is military jobs and deportation officers.
Okay. I'm just trying to come up with the right ways from. I talked to the TSA guys last time I came. Anyway, thank you. Y'all have a blessed day. Have a blessed day, sir. Have a blessed day. Thank you.
I love it. Shout out to her. Shout out to all the good Americans who appreciate TSA, who appreciate ICE, who appreciate all law enforcement, public safety, everybody making their lives run much easier, much smoother. Shout out to her and shout out to them. Right on. Okay, I got some more. Now, this lady's at Bush Airport and she's being asked about ICE because the narrative is, oh, well, the ICE agents are going to make it's going to be terrible. They're going to be harassing people, beating people up, all this, that, and the third. But the reality is, if you are not causing a problem, if you're not the target, if you're not here illegally, you don't got nothing to worry about. Just go to your destination, go to your gate, catch your flight, and have a good time. Come back and be safe on your trip. That's it. That's all you got to worry about. Don't worry about ICE or nobody if you got everything on the up and up. If you're here illegally, you're trying to traffic drugs or guns, you might be the target. But let's watch.
You just had some ICE officers helping you. This is your son?
It is.
Okay. Helping you with your son?
Yes.
How do you feel about them being here?
I feel okay with them being here. I mean, they were extremely helpful. They helped me with him. I asked them questions of where we needed to go, and so I don't mind them being here at all.
Okay. And you're going to Philly?
We are going to Philadelphia.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
You just had some ICE officers.
So shout out to her. Now, I got to say one thing. I got to say it. And, shout out to her. Nothing against her, nothing like that. But that boy is so big. Bro, I need you to get out, help with the bags. If that was me at that age, that big, my mom would have said, hey, boy, get your suitcase and get my bag too, and let's go. Yeah, I would not be able to be like in this little chariot right there. He living the life. In that chariot, chilling. He living the life. If that was me at that age, my mom would like, hey, boy, you better get up out there. Hey, when I was his age, I had like a little blue suitcase I carry around wherever I had to go to West Virginia or something like this. That's what I would do. I would never get like a little, I was never doing that. But yeah, shout out to him. All right, let's keep going here. Now, where we going to go? Here's Trump talking about a few things. And I got limited time. So I'm going to kind of like rapid fire right quick. That's a good point, Iron Spider. He could be disabled. I'm just saying, if he's like able-bodied and he not disabled, getting that chariot ride, ain't no way. Mama would have said, get up out that. If I'm like, I say 2 years old, like I don't remember a stroller. A stroller, I would have had to been an infant. Any kind of stroller, any kind of device like that, I would have been an infant for sure. I wouldn't have been toddler age in any kind of carrier like that. But anyway, here's Trump.
We're a party of common sense. The Democrats are a party of insanity. They're a party that will destroy our country. If I didn't win this election, I believe our country would have been destroyed by now. 1 year, that's all it would have taken. If you had Kamala or Sleepy Joe, either one, it wouldn't have mattered. They're the same thing. Two sleepy people, two stupid people. I believe, and by the way, Gavin Newsom, who is one of the candidates, I believe he took himself out of the running when he says he suffers from mental disability. And a reporter said it was terrible that I talked that way about somebody with mental disability. I said, I have no problem with it, but I don't want a person with mental disability to be my president. I mean, you don't want to have a person with mental disability being your president. And Gavin Newsom said that he can't read a speech. He can't do almost anything. And then he said he's as dumb as all the people in the room. And he got accused of being a racist, which was an amazing I thought it was the worst interview I've ever seen anybody give. He's actually a very stupid person. So I believe he's out of the running. I think that that statement, that interview, he admitted that he's a stupid person. I don't want a stupid person being president. You know, I'll say it right now. I say it because no press never reports it. I'm the only president that ever took a...
Okay, there we go. So shout out to Trump. Probably was an IQ test of them right there. Took an IQ test. But yeah, Trump is a smart guy. I like smart people to be in leadership roles. Now, if you're not a very smart guy, not the brightest bulb in the bunch of Christmas lights, the sharpest knife in the box set, you may not be the most brilliant in the world. It's okay if you're not, but to be the president, I mean, I might want a pretty smart guy, a guy who does not say, I have a disability, a learning disability. Okay, if you got a club foot or something like that, okay, that's one thing. You got a little limp, a little hitch in your gait, that's one thing. But if you got an issue with learning, with reading, I don't want that guy with the finger on the button. I'm just saying. So yeah, I think that was most certainly a disqualifying speech from Gavin Newsom, the Grand Leader, Grand Wizard, or whatever of California, the governor, pardon me, I forgot what it was. Anyway, he's right on point with that. Right on point with that. Let's keep going. We got a little bit of time here. Okay. Where do I want to go next? I got a lot, actually. Okay, hold on. I think I'm going to talk about Cuba right quick.
No, but...
We'll talk about Africa, but I think I already did that. Africa, Ghana, talking about some reparations. Hey, Ghana, just right quick. Shout out to my Ghanaian people. Shout out to my West Africans. Shout out to everybody from Nigeria, Togo, Benin, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, Liberia, Ghana, everybody, the whole West Africa, Cameroon, down to Central African Republic, Gabon, Guinea, all the Guineas. Shout out to you guys out there. However, hear me well. We, the USA, will not give you 1 red cent for reparations for slavery. We're not going to give you reparations. How do you think you earn that? How do you think you're entitled to that from us? You sold us, my ancestors, you sold us into slavery. Whatever money you got back then is whatever you're going to get. Ain't going to be no more. You can't say we sold slaves, but we got harmed by the Europeans, so now we got to get paid for the slave trade. Huh? No, that's called scamming. The whole year of return, another scam. Stop scamming. Okay. Hey, but now I digress. It's talking about something, huh? Don't worry about it. I put a video out about Ghana because Ghana led a UN resolution that said slavery is the worst thing that ever happened, specifically trading of Africans. The trading of Africans and the slave trade was the worst crime that has ever hit humanity. And for that crime, we want to explore reparations, reparatory opportunities. The US, Israel, and Argentina voted against this. And then they kind of went viral because they said, oh, these nations don't want to talk about this being the worst thing in the world. They think slavery is okay. They love slavery. No. Nobody thinks slavery is good. The problem is we're not going to give Ghana reparations for slavery. That's the key. Let's just be clear. But anyway, Cuba. Let's talk about Cuba, and then I'll wrap it up and get to the calls.
No, but I was watching this and I'm hearing them saying, could he be losing the MAGA base? I don't think so. You know why? Because MAGA wants to win, number one. Number two, they want our country protected. They don't want another country out there that's hostile and crazy to have a nuclear weapon. And number three, they like us protecting certain allies, whether it's Israel or Saudi Arabia or Qatar or UAE, any of them. They want that. MAGA wants strength and they want victory. They want success. And that's what we have. And we have been very, very successful. You know, when I went into Venezuela, I said, because I campaigned on the fact peace through strength, you wouldn't have to use it.
All right, there we go.
I said, you'll never have to use it. But sometimes use it. And Cuba's next, by the way. But pretend I didn't say that, please. Pretend I didn't say that. Please, 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 media, please disregard that statement. Thank you very much. Cuba's next.
Hey, I didn't say that. Hey, matter of fact, you didn't hear me say that at all. I did not say that. Hey, matter of fact, Cuba's next. How about that? So, shout out to Cuba. Hopefully, Cuba can be rescued from the East. Now, here's Marco Rubio talking about Cuba as well. So, Marco, maybe he'll be the next president of Cuba, the next Cuban prime minister. Put that in his list of ever-growing job titles. Is Marco Rubio Cuban or is he Jamaican? I can't tell. But anyway, let's watch.
Regime change, but now there seems to be a sense that perhaps President Trump would be happy with a win, which would only entail an economic deal.
So you said there's a sense. Where do you get that sense from?
Well, there's a lot of reporting that
there's a lot of fake. All right, any reporting on Cuba that you didn't get from me or the president is a liar, because they're the only people working on it.
Do you still want regime change?
I'm just warning you guys. All these sources that are pitching you on Cuba don't know jack. Okay, they're not in the mix. Okay. I promise you, they don't know what the hell's happening.
Regime change, or would you be okay with an economic deal?
What do you mean an economic deal? Look, Cuba's economy needs to change, and their economy can't change unless their system of government changes.
Regime change, but now there seems to be...
Exactly. Cuba has incompetent leaders, communist leaders. It's just not going to function on its own. It's going to be a puppet of the East and used against us. And ultimately, everybody suffers. The Cubans suffer, we suffer, everybody suffers. Let's just stop that from happening and liberate them. Give them what they want, a libertad. Okay, now, let's keep going here. Do I have one more? Hold on. There's more, but I have no more time. I'll play some of that next time. Oh, one more I want to play just right quick about Africa. Trump spoke glowingly of Africa, and what he said right here makes a lot of sense. And I think if you are into investing, you gotta pay attention, because Africa is the only place, for the most part, where there's actually a positive birth rate. Within a very short period of time, the majority of humanity would be right there in Africa. So you're talking about a golden opportunity to do business, not to exploit, but to do business, because they're going to be the main people. But let's watch.
There's a big advantage. But Africa has tremendous value in its land. And if they can unify and get together, I think it's got tremendous potential. I have a lot of very smart friends that they're putting everything into Africa. There's a big advantage.
He's right about that. Now, Africa has been a place to invest for quite a while now. The Chinese, they've been over there for a long time. The Chinese are not necessarily doing really great by Africa. If you're able to go over there, if you're able to invest with them and you're able to just fit with them, what they got going on, and help them to rise as a people, then you'll do very well. And the unification is very important, because within Africa, the nations are not necessarily united, because nationhood was not really an African thing. They had some kingdoms, some empires, some tribal lands. It wasn't like a Nigeria. Nigeria is not a country. Nigeria is a European idea of a country, because there's a bunch of different tribes, languages, cultures, regions. It's a bunch of things kind of mishmashed together. It's like if you put Russia and China into the same country, or a piece of Russia and China into the same country. Let's say you put the Uyghur part of China with Moscow. Like, they don't even go together, but that's kind of what the Europeans did with the carving up of Africa. So if they can unify under, let's say, a Nigeria, for example, If they can just get Nigeria unified, that'd be a great step toward some real progress. South Africa, same thing. They can get that more unified. That'd be a great step toward progress. If the entire continent came together under the African Union and had true unity, they'd be unstoppable. But as long as they're fragmented, segmented, and still got these old ways, and education is not really a big thing like the way it should be, they'll never really be able to go anywhere. And then some are going to say, well, the reason why Trump said that is because he wants to land. He wants to go over there and take over. He wants to be the king of Africa. It's not like that. If he was just wanting to take Africa, I mean, truthfully, anybody could do that right now. That's kind of punching down. And if you wanted to take quote unquote Africa, meaning the entire continent, all countries are just a country in Africa, you would not preach unity, because when you're divided, easily conquered. When you are together, it's harder to do anything with you. But anyway, let's keep rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. We got some super chats, and then we're going to get to the calls. The number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. And super chats on deck first before I get to the calls. And shout out to you guys for being here. I most certainly appreciate y'all for joining. You guys are, of course, the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. All right, where we at? Thank you to Apple Bucker, All Puff Daddy, who says, I guess Brit Hume was right. Tiger needs Jesus. And shout out to Tiger. I saw Tiger get arrested because he had a DUI. It was like a single car crash. Like his car flipped over. And they said that he was not drinking. It probably was a drug he was on. I don't know what kind of drug. If he was on some kind of medication, I don't know what happened. But I'm praying for Tiger Woods because clearly there's something going on. There's something wrong. And I hope that he's able to get help for whatever he got going on. So shout out to Tiger Woods. Apple also says, ABL, you street smart. What up with the Tiger? Going through things. Okay, going through things. Just not really. Whatever he's going through, he's not dealing with it the best way. And I feel like sometimes it's hard to. I'll put it to you this way. There could be an addiction going on or just something in his personal life he's not able to get beyond. And sometimes when guys cannot get beyond certain things, they self-medicate. I don't know what happened with the lady he was with when he was married or whatever that was. But right around that time, some things started to happen. So hopefully whatever he's going through, he's able to get beyond it and come out better afterward. Okay, thank you to Apple Bucker, All Puff Daddy, again, who says in Canada, soon to be illegal to quote the Bible. Help. Oh, so it's going to be illegal to quote the Bible soon? Hey, you know what? I don't know what to tell you, man. RIP to Canada. RIP. And you know what? It shouldn't be illegal to do that. You should be able to quote whatever you want to quote. The Quran, the Bible, the Torah, whatever you want to quote. You should have freedom to express your religion or to express anything, even if you're not religious yourself. I, as a guy who's not religious, but believes in God and spirituality and the whole 9 yards, okay, I believe in everything in the book. I'm just not really religious. I should be able to quote what it says in the book or that book or whatever, any book I want. But you know what? That's why part of why America is so great, we got freedom of speech, unlike most of the world. That gets Ryan Henderson, who says, thank you, President Trump, for all you do. Ryan Henderson also says, there's one king, Lord of all. That is it. Thank you to Flashing Lightning Storm for becoming an ABL supporter. Thank you to Ryan Henderson, who says, liberals are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Thank you to Twisted Clown, who says, middle-aged single women dancing, cats go hungry. That's right. Hey, they out there at the No Kings protest. Did they fill up the litter box? I mean, the cat food bowl? Did they clean the litter box? Are the cats okay? Someone check on all the cats because all their moms are out in the streets acting the fool. Someone check on the tabbies, the tuxedos, and the oranges, please. I beg you. Thank you to Twisted Clown, who says chicken lady should talk to wheelchair guy. Hey, that was crazy. The wheelchair guy, I'll never forget. You're not translating what he's saying. You're just acting the fool on the stage, playing around. Thank you to Taylor Langley Fitness, who says, I was at a patio bar in LA eating one time. This crackhead next door in the alley was blowing crack smoke into the patio area all over my food. See, you know what? I don't like that. I don't like that. That's why, that's why I don't even eat outside. In a downtown place, look, I would never eat outside of the downtown place. I go to Dallas sometimes, and I go to some of these spots that have outdoor places. And if I'm downtown, I'm seeing some stuff. I was downtown one time in Dallas, and it's a quick story. It's a little gross, but not really. So trigger warning if you kind of grossed out. Anyway, I'm outside of this restaurant, get ready to go in, and the guy is walking by. I see him out of my peripheral vision. I see him. I just look forward. I'm not trying to make eye contact and have him try to say nothing to me, but he does anyway. He come up to me. Hey, man, what's going on? Trying to get me in the bump. Hey, man, what's going on? I look like this. I'm good, bro. Not trying to be rude, but I'm not trying to be giving you no pound. I'm seeing you look, you kind of got some bum stuff on. You got tattered clothing. I don't know where you been. I'm good, bro. Respectful, but don't touch me. As he walks away, I see he's sagging a little bit, and I'm seeing like, it looked like he had a what's the name? A baguette in his underwear. I was like, bro, please. I don't know what you got going on, but get away from me. Now, what I don't want is to be out eating and I see something like that, because I'm gonna lose my whole appetite. Okay, but anyway, let's keep going. I'm sorry, but I had to tell the story. I'm sorry. I apologize. And thank you to AJ for the super chat saying thank you. I appreciate you for that. Thank you to Carter Benton, who says Gavin Newsom lacks common sense, not only as governor of California, but as president of the United States. Absolutely. I agree with you. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to the calls. The number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. But yeah, I saw that. I was like, bro, you good? Like, what is that right there? Like, hopefully it was some kind of equipment, some kind of tool, but I don't think it was. I think it was something else, and I don't really want to say too much more. All right, it looked like a baguette. You know what a baguette is? Like a piece of bread. Look, I don't want to have to really describe it, okay? I think we all kind of understand what I was getting at. I hope. And if you don't, I don't want to tell you. Okay, let's go. 786 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Mr. Anthony Brian Logan, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Pretty good. Yeah, well, I'm close to my area code. You can tell I live in the greater Miami area, which is ethnically is North Cuba to a large degree.
Yes.
And of course, it's given me a lot of insight with people, that communicate with relatives and all, what's going on the island country. One thing about the Code Pinkos, that's what I call them, Code Pinkos, when they went on that Save Socialism tour down in Cuba, that's what it really is. SOS, Save Our Socialists. Yeah, where Hassan Piker, the man who said that America deserved 9/11, to those hotels. The thing about it is the average Cuban as citizen is not allowed anywhere near those hotels. The only people that can go there are the foreign tourists like this bunch, and on occasions the high state officials. The average Cuban is not allowed near them.
That's right.
And so yeah, that's what I learned, and they of course were saying, man, these people are so full of it. A lot of that people here in Miami, and I want to thank you too for posting that Canadian woman who said about her wonderful visit to a U.S. hospital, because back in 2010 I was out with some friends and we came across some ladies from Toronto, and a discussion came up about Canada's healthcare system. I don't know what's changed since 2010, but the thing about it is you go through a bunch of tests the first time. Second time you go to another clinic, it could be just a few blocks away for secondary tests. They'll often redo the first test in the other clinic. Just redo them again. It could be anything, taking your temperature, your blood pressure, putting the famous latex glove on, if you know what I mean, and do it all over again, because the problem is getting the results from the first set of exams is so tied up in red tape that it's easier for them to redo the test and get the results then than it is to wait and then have the, go through the red tape and get the first results you did the first time. And that's what these Canadian women told us.
Wow, that's crazy. That's totally crazy.
Yeah, of course, there too. And of course, the thing about it is I just learned how low some people's IQs are at the airports. I mean, they're calling, the ICE, terrorist regime of a fascist, whatever, and you're right there filming them to their face. If they were the genuine fascist Gestapo, whatever, like they like to call them, man, that video would be not out. And not only that, these people probably never hear from them again, if you know what I mean.
Exactly, 100%.
I mean, they're fashionable, and you're going to go up there and film them and put them on the internet? I mean, how stupid is that? I mean, just to bring that up. But at any rate, that's all I'm going to say for now. I was going to think about some other things, but I said nah. So enjoy the rest of the evening. Take care. God bless, and I'll let the 10,000,001 callers after me come in.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Sure thing.
All right, shout out to the caller. Great caller. Let's go to. I'm speaking to you in line 917.
Hi, ABL. It's Corinne from NYC.
All righty, what's going on?
I just want to make sure. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you well.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I think it's funny. I saw the video of Bob. He was talking to the journalist and about, it's just common sense, that a man who's pretending to be a woman, I don't know if it's a trans woman, trans man, he said it's just common sense that they can't play. And I like that analogy he used with Sugar Ray Leonard and the weight class with Mike Tyson. But it's funny to me that Bob can say that now in 2026 and get the nodding along by the journalist. Like, yes, of course that makes sense. But how long have we been saying this? Like, so many conservatives, everybody's been saying this for so many years, and everybody's just shaming them. And all of a sudden now it's okay, I guess, to say it's common sense.
Right, exactly.
So that was kind of annoying, but it's good. I'm just happy when people finally do allow it to just settle in as common sense, because I think everybody knew that deep down, that was pretending it wasn't and just saying, accept them. There's the female athlete that was brave enough to come out, and then she got all that backlash. I forget her name at the moment, but I know that Simone Biles even came after her for standing up. I forget the
Riley Gaines.
What's her name? Yes. She she was brave enough to speak out. And then with all the backlash, getting called transphobe, it's just common sense. I mean, anybody knew this all of these years that everybody was saying it. So I'm glad that Bob is able to now, without any backlash, to say that. But it's kind of annoying that people weren't on board with it before when it was common sense then. And I thought it was, these clips, you got me laughing at these crazy clips with the guy with the beard in the courtroom. Full beard. He has a full beard, right?
Full beard, like he's like a regular guy.
You are a man. I can't grow a beard like that. I can't grow no facial hair like that. You're a dude. He's talking about, give me a female officer? What, bro? What? How many men were trying to get him down or whatever? And you talk about a female officer? What is happening? What the hell you want a female officer for, sir? With your beard?
A complete nutcase. It was crazy.
It's delusional. And also, it's funny that you asked, and some people do say this, they're like, how did we get here? Why did people allow this? You said the whole thing about the trans men. What are they? Trans women? Men that are pretending to be women?
Yes, you got it.
Trans women? Okay. So I just call them transvestites. But so these men that have been trying to go in the women's bathrooms and trying to go in the locker rooms and just trying to be in female spaces, like desperate to be in the female space. Just do you, dude. Go over there. So you're like, how do we get this? That's what you said. But I'm laughing because you showed a clip of these aggressive men. You're a man with all the aggression, with the wig, the one with the wig with the band on his forehead.
Yeah.
He's talking about, he's responding to the actual real woman who's just saying, yes, I'm a woman, don't call me sis, and he's like, with all the aggression. This is how we got here, ABL. If you are a real woman, you are real soft, real lady, she's soft, the first lady in the clip, you just a real woman, and then some dude is with all the aggression talking. You saw his eye movements, like he want to check her and stuff. Like, imagine if he was in the locker room with her. Like, that's how we got here. No real woman wants a tall, big dude with a wig on talking about, yeah, sis. Like, he gonna fight you.
Exactly. So it does make sense. They pretty much been
like, this is what we deal with. Of course, women, we don't want that, but it's like, do I really want a man in my bathroom or my locker room or on a sports team trying to check me and trying to fight me? So guess what? I'm not going to be speaking up. I don't want men trying to fight me.
I get it, 100%. It makes sense.
So that's why it just had to be like people backing it, everybody, not just random. Shout out to Riley for being so brave, because you need support from everybody to say stop this nonsense. Because if you have this guy in that video, just from a video, I'm not even in real life with him, and I'm like, oh hell no, I don't want this dude giving me the look, with the shoulders and looking like a dude with his wig, trying to say sis, talking like a man. No, you don't want that. Even though you don't agree with it, but you really not trying to fight a man and go against a man every day.
Exactly.
So that's how we got here. But yeah, nobody really agreed with that. And also there was the girl complaining about the Uber driver that didn't speak English. I don't really take the Ubers like that. So I don't really deal with that, but everybody else I know in New York City does. So I haven't heard about somebody not speaking any English at all, but I do know I worked in customer service in New York City and in Brooklyn, and that's a common thing. It is very annoying because, in New York City we got all the different languages. People just come in here, they're trying to learn zero English. They speak many different languages, all the languages, and I just pull up my phone and I do the translate. It's like a common thing when I was in customer service. I just do the translate because I'm like, really? It was a common thing. It wasn't offensive. I would say, do you speak English? And they're like, no, little bit, and then I just pull up whatever they speak, Russian or anything, whatever they speak, I pull it up. But it's like there really is no eagerness to learn, and there's kind of an entitlement too. Like, just pull up your translator. You pull it up, or get somebody on the phone that could translate and speak my language so I can, get what I need from customer service. It was very entitled. It's like, why don't you just learn English? If I move to another country, I'm going to learn that language.
Right, exactly. I mean, that's the way it should be. I mean, and they be here for a long time, 20 years, no English. It's like, come on. If I'm somewhere for that long, I'm pick up whatever language is. I mean, China, Russia, it don't matter. I'm going to learn their language in that amount of time.
Yes, even when I just spent 2 weeks in Rome, I'm on the plane trying to hurry up and learn some phrases. Like, I'm trying to learn, But yes, this very entitled attitude, like they're not interested in learning. And it was annoying at that customer service job because I'm like, wait, why am I trying to use my phone for translator? You pull up your phone to use a translator and I'll speak into it because you're the one that don't speak English. Like, I just have to keep pulling out my phone.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, that was about it. I just wanted to chime in on those few things. A lot of funny clips. Thank you. I was dying. Okay, so I'll let you have the rest of the people call in, and thanks for the great show tonight. Have a good night, ABL.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate you.
Bye.
All right, great caller. Shout out to you guys for calling in. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. The number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. The number is always in the description, and it'll be in the ticker below the video at a certain point while you're watching the show. And thank you guys for being here. I'm glad you guys have enjoyed the show tonight. If you have enjoyed the show tonight, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, and all that good stuff. Let's check it out. Let's go. Unknown caller on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Bombing in 5 minutes.
ABL, man. Hey, man, how's it going?
It's all good. About yourself?
Well, very good today. I got pulled over by a cop for a traffic violation, moving violation, actually, and I got off.
Hey, well, congratulations.
Yeah, man. I was in Cobb County, and I think it had to do something with my Trump bumper stickers on my car.
In Cobb? Like, I think in Cobb, they probably would like that, wouldn't they?
Yes, sir. Actually, the Cobb County police officers are not assholes like people have been saying the past 25 years or more. I think they're all right. You know, I've had a couple dealings with them, and this guy was very fair. He's about 35 years old, and he just gave me a warning and let me off.
Okay. Well, hey, sounds good to me.
Man, it's really cool. So, yeah, I know the area. I used to live out there back in the 80s for almost 13 years. Anyway, one of the things I wanted to bring up was Thursday night. Well, I work in a job where I do a lot of shipping. Okay, I can't say which company, of course, because I have to protect my identity and my job. But, yeah, I do a lot of shipping. It's about 80% of what I do. And I ran across some literature that's being shipped off. I work for a company that does, well, let's just say it does some printing, okay? And they printed up some socialist information from a group in Pennsylvania called Workers' Voice.
Mm.
And so the date, it was supposed to be shipped out on the 20, they're supposed to receive it on the 26th. And I was supposed to ship it out like next day on the 27th on Friday. So I thought for 10 seconds, I thought, well, what should I do? You know, and I thought, well, you know, resist. And so I did resist, you know, the fascists. What I did was I shipped it out to arrive on Monday the 30th because they have a rally coming up in Pennsylvania on the 4th and the 5th, next Saturday and Sunday. So I thought, you know, if I delay it by, you know, 4 days, which would be actually a total of 5 days because it's already 1 day late, that would kind of just throw a monkey wrench in their plans for rallying, you know. So, yeah, I mean, these guys are radical. They said fight capitalism, fight for fair wages or whatever, fight, you know, hands off Venezuela and stuff like that, and no war in Venezuela. There's no war going on in Venezuela. We're in and out in less than 3 hours. You know, some stupid leftist today, when I wrote I was Ultra MAGA, America First, Trump 20, or whatever, some pro-Trump comment today on several news channels that were, you know, covering the No Kings rally. You know, and some guy goes, well, how do you like, you know, the fact that Trump started 2 wars and have you filled up your gas tank lately? I'm like, well, have you filled up your gas tank, you know, under Biden and Obama? Look how high your gas prices were then. It averaged $3.65 for 8 years under Obama, and it got up to $4 a gallon one time for about 3 or 4 days back in late 2012. I think it was in September of that year. You know, so, and also got up to $4 a gallon under Biden, but you know, they never complained about gas prices then. It was only temporary anyway. The gas prices only started going up when the Strait of Hormuz got shut down because of the Iranian regime, you know.
Right.
Stopping 20% of the world's oil supply coming through there. Which we're about to end that right away, you know, within probably the next 4 or 5 days. But, they didn't complain about gas prices under Biden or Obama. But when they go up temporarily because of Trump, you know, well, not because of Trump, but because, you know, the war in Iran, all of a sudden it's a big deal, you know.
Right, exactly.
You know. Anyway, so I felt really good about what I did, you know, help disrupt the socialist, you know, / communist assholes, you know, from their, you know, organizing their rallies by making their pamphlets arrive, you know, 5 days late. So that was cool. You know, I figured it was a small sacrifice. A lot of people sacrificed their lives to fight, you know, Nazis in the Third Reich in World War II and also in communist Russia, and especially what's going on the past, you know, especially the past 2 months in Iran. So it's the least I could do, you know, for my country to help make America great again by fighting socialism and communism. So, yeah, man, it was well worth it.
Sounds great
so
to me.
It's a small risk. It's not going to come back to me, you know, and if it does, if they complain, I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, you know, it's just so easy to click on a wrong button, you know, for a shipment date. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Accidentally on purpose, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, what these leftists need to understand is that we have, you know, people everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So, yep. Anyway, so that's all I want to say, man. Have a great night. Take care. Make America great again. And I'm still ultra MAGA.
Thank you for the call, man.
2028. Have a great night.
Thanks, man. Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
Thank you. See you. Bye.
All right. Shout out to my man for the call. Hey, little resistance. Hey, man, I'm sorry. You know, I pushed the wrong button. You know, I apologize. You know, I'm sorry you missed your little protest, your little rally. I'm talking to you online 310.
Hey, this is Ron from Georgia. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Doing good. A fellow red meat eater and everything. Had a nice ribeye yesterday. Cooked to perfection, man. Tender, succulent. Oh man, I did it up good. Man, oh man, I did it on my Weber grill.
Oh yeah,
brother. Had a nice charcoal flavor and everything. And boy, I did that reverse sear on it, brother. It was. I'm salivating right now, brother. Man, oh man. But yeah, brother. Remember last week I told you guys that my daughter had to go back to Arizona, and she flew back on Monday. So I'm gonna just tell you just a little bit of what happened. Is that, you know, like all morning I was kind of like a little irritated. I said, oh man, I said she got to go through that. I know President Trump was talking about getting the ICE agents in and everything like that. See how it's gonna go. So here I am. I'm checking the news, and everything was saying that, you know, maybe 6 hours, 5 or 6 hours. I told my daughter, I said, look, I said, I've been watching the news all morning. I said, we might have to get you there 4 or 5 hours early. Okay, so we're going to leave 5 hours. So I left early. And so when we got to the airport, it was like 3 o'clock. And 3 o'clock, she goes in, and then I'm going on back on the freeway, going better head back home. And then she calls and said, Dad, he said, I can't get my bags until I'm 4 hours away from my flight. I can't even check my bag in yet. I said, okay, well, do what you got to do. You know, just be calm, take the baby boy and everything like that. You guys be chilling and everything like that. She said, okay. So she called me back, and they got the bags checked in because she only had like another 45 minutes to wait. Got the bags checked in. Brother, she went into the TSA line. Guess what? She only had to wait in there for an hour. An hour to get through the thing. Next thing she told me, Dad, I'm through TSA. What, already? What happened to 4 hours? She said, Dad, they got out there. They got it done quick. And you know what? All the fear mongering that the news was saying and everything they showed on the news, even when I got back home, was showing the lines going out the door and everything. It wasn't like that, man. The first time I pull up into the airport, brother, I had front rows parking right there. You know what I'm saying? No problem. You know, the officers waving me on in and everything like that. Park, ease on out there. And I'm like, how is it so easy to get through here and everything like that? What it is that in the beginning, apparently, you know, when they're getting all set up, you know, it depends on the supervisors, you know, how they organize things, you know. And so in the beginning, you know, everybody's going to rush in the morning. It's a little chaotic and everything like that. But as time goes on, things figure it out and get easy. Next thing you know, man, there weren't no lines at all. Man, there weren't hardly no lines at all. Got through. She got home, you know, on time, flight on time. She ate a lot of food in the airport and everything. Had a little cocktail to chill out the stress because she was kind of stressing. But she made it home safely, man. She made it home safely, and it was just awesome. I just was thanking the president for what he did. You know, the thing about it that people are always talking about our president, but the thing about our president is a solution finder. He don't cry about, you know, the chaos that's going around. He finds a solution, and not only just talk about it, but he put it into action. He talked about it, put it into action. Those people got it done. I tell you, the ICE agents and everything like that, and paying the TSA officers and everything like that, he didn't wait for the Congress to do it. He put an executive order to get it done. This man is a man of action. This is our president. He's a man of action. He loves our country. A man of action. And we need to be people of action. These people who are subversive and everything like that, with the No Kings protests and everything like that, I don't know how in the heck they come up with their names and stuff like that, thinking that this is sometime back in England and everything like that. We don't have a king. We have a president on whom we elected. The problem is they don't like the way that the election came out. thank God they don't like it, but these people don't like our country. They want to change things. They want to change things to be a communist, socialist party. We're not communist. We're not a socialist party. We're a capitalist nation. We're people who are work-oriented, patriotic, and who love their country. Those who really love their American experience. This is an American experience. And the thing about it is great. We won the lottery, like I said, to be in this country, to be in it, to be born here, to survive here, to all the ups and downs. But unfortunately, you got so many people who just hate our country so much, to hate when things are going right for our country, when it has the potential to go get even better if we all come on one accord. But it's not going to happen. We're not all going to come on one accord, but the ones that do, we can get things done. And the thing about it, ABL, is that, we really need to continue to look forward to that. Things that he's setting things up for our future. And we just got to make sure that we keep our future alive. We need to get out those who hate our country and rebuke those ideas from our congressmen and our senators who are plotting against our nation, who are not working for the people, who's working against the people. They're working for their own interests, not the interests of our nation. And these people need to be sent out on a rail. I'm telling you, be sent out on a rail and get out of here. And we need to get people who really love our country, who really are doing what's best for the people and not for themselves. Like I said, these people are corrupt and they're grifters. All of them, all of them. If they're not for our nation, they're grifters. And like I said, we just got to just stay focused. People, stay focused. Stay focused and continue to push forward. I just love our country, man. Like I said, I love what our country is doing, what our president and his staff, his cabinet is doing, man. They're doing a heck of a job out there, man. That's affecting the world. And I love the fact that even like the Japanese president came and hugged President Trump. Awesome. And even when he joked with her, still, she kept her demeanor and everything like that. But they're loving, and they loving what a strong president is doing. Strong men in America need to rise up, stand up, and we putting down all these beta men and these feminist activism. I tell you, we need to push that stuff down and get these people out of the way because we're too busy doing something forward, doing something great for our nation. And we just need to keep our warriors up, keep our president up, keep our whole nation up. Keep it up in prayer and let God be king that's the only king of our nation, our Lord, Jesus Christ. Anyway, beloved, I just love you, man. You just take care and you just keep on pushing forward. Okay, buddy?
Thank you for your call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
You too, sir. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to my man for the call. Always a great one. And I got a little bit of time before I wrap it on up, put the bow on top. Anybody want to call in last minute? The number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. Shout out to you guys for rocking and rolling with me tonight. I most certainly appreciate you. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you heard tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. If you enjoyed the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. And excuse me, I'm reading some of the comments right here. But you guys have been great. I feel like I just sat down to do this show and it's already time for me to be done. Which I'll be back every Wednesday and Saturday live on the YouTube, 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm here. Well, not here. I'm on Instagram every Tuesday streaming live. All right. I'm on IG every Tuesday streaming live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shout out to you guys who were there on this Tuesday's Instagram live stream. I appreciate y'all for that. So that'll be a wrap for me tonight. Again, thank you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. Shout out to everybody for watching, retweeting, super chat, and whatever you do. Y'all know I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. This is also an audio streaming podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether it be Google Play, Spotify, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will always be in the description, or just visit your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. All right. I believe I got everybody. I believe I got everything. Shout out to all the super chats. Shout out to all of you guys participating. But that will be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.